Hello? Hello. The timing of that though, Commander Valos, just before I go live, everything turned off. Hope you're all keeping well. Happy Monday, guys. Welcome to the start of a week, a very different week, but the start all the same. Tonight, well, this is a busy one. This is a hard one. It's a tough one. Tonight is the IFR 11 flight from the wings over New England, all part of the Boston Virtual ARTCC, part of our, wait for it, more letters, part of our FAA ATC course, you see? Focusing mainly on IFR, at least at the moment. This is a good one because we should plan a departure, fly a route, plan for an ILS approach, do a missed approach, go into a hold, grab a hold of that, and then after the hold, we're going to look for a new IFR clearance mid-air and then fly to an alternate airport. This one is flat out. It is one of the most complicated, toughest courses on the entire Wings course. And, well, sure, listen, I mean, if you can manage this, lads, you can manage absolutely everything. Or anything, do you know? But anyway, yes, a mad day, so it is. A strange day, right? You know, I tell you now. So I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, as you do, and we went for a walk. Myself and Mr. Two-Tone out for the steps, you know. And beautiful morning. And fairly busy then throughout the day, just doing stuff. My first day, do you know what I mean? It's like, right, where do we start? Because there's loads of things to do, and I haven't really got around to doing much of anything, right? Well, I got a bit done, but like, it was one of those days. Ease our way into it, lads. Yes, that's the ticket right there. And we had thunder, proper thunder in Tipperary. It's gone nice again though, but you want to hear the roar and the roars. It was mad. But anyway, we're going to do this tonight step by step. There's quite a bit to, you know, fit in the old noggin. We'll try it. We'll take our time with it. We'll figure out what it is we need to do. The emphasis here will be on our flight planning, knowing what to do, when to do it. Well, that all comes through our planning. So that's what we're going to have an hour look at. You see, apart from that, how are you keeping? I'm starting to get, well, I'm not really. I'm still shockingly pasty white, but I was worse white than this the last time we were here. Sunshine, yes, that's what it's all about. No, the kitchen hasn't been ordered yet. Shag off. Yeah, studying, right? Brilliant. Great crack. But anyway, look, who's here? CP65, welcome in. Tarnish Mossman is in the house. Muttley, good evening. Ferocum Gamer, happy Monday, man. Viper Strike is in the house. Welcome aboard. Fierce Wolf is here. Looking fierce and wolfy. Welcome in. To Blaze, the man who has timing like nothing else. Good to see you, man. Right, now, Filthy, good to see you. Malky Mac is here. Stick Figure, welcome in. Retriever Neil is in the house. Crafty Tigers, 6 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Really do appreciate that support. My dude. Sir Camsalot, AJH, man. Hope you're well. Vacuum is here. Bellbro, he says, how's the first Monday on the job feeling? Well, I'm going to turn on this aircon. We can do things like that now. It's running there in the background. You'll probably hear it, but sure, listen, it's 1,000 degrees in here. So we'll have to just get over it, right? We'll have to get over it, lads. It adds to the immersion. Where are you, Murph? I'm in a plane. Doesn't sound like a plane. It sounds like aircon. The plane has aircon. Yeah, that'll work. But yeah, a mad day. Do you know, just starting my day off. I'll stream tomorrow during the day, you know, in the morning time at some stage. Just for the crack, you know. But anyway, who else is here? Crafty Tiger's good to see you. Stick Figure, 10 streams in a row, man. What am I doing wrong with my life? That's the spirit. Sure. Rick Rashid, hello, hello. Martin K is here. Shuffle Shoes, shuffles in. Edge H John, hope you're well. Full-time two-tone Murphy Day. Yes. Proby Pete, good to see you. He says, good day, Fireflies from Arizona. A New Englander transplanted in Arizona and enjoying the FAA ATC ground school. Nice, man, nice. P.S. Mirandai, hello there. My favourite streamer that lives in Tipperary. How do we read that now? Like, would I be your favourite who just happens to live in Tipperary, or I'm your favourite of Tipperary? Ah, Jesus. Super Ty, good to see you, man. Spitfire, RAF 100 is here in the chat. Happy Monday. Soaring AJ. AJH, hope all is well. Hermit Something is here, good to see you. APU Inspector, welcome. Schutz is here. He says, good evening one and all. Hope we've had a great start to the week. Indeed. Sean Game, good evening. Wicked Lumberjacks, afternoon. He says, I wonder how work was for Murph today. Oh, wait. Yeah, but sure, listen, right, I mean, busy. I'm very slow starting off, but then once we get a bit of a run of it, right? Yeah. I was learning things today. I'm doing ground school stuff. Very interesting. But yes, Zard, good to see you, man. I was expecting a day stream, part-timer, yeah. I'll stream tomorrow. We'll do something in the morning, I'd say. Liptorius, happy Monday. Old Veteran 965, he says, hello and howdy. Happy Monday, all. Time for some more learning, some how to hold. Oh my. Brilliant. Enjoy filling your brains with knowledge from the TTM University of Higher Learning and Underachieving. Yes. Good to see you, Scott. Hope you're well. Creo, he says, hello from County Mayo. Welcome in, Creo. Hope you're well. Who else come in? Toto 2495. Good to see you, Toto. Retriever Neil, 7 streams in a row, man. Thank you very much indeed. Cami Niner is here. Welcome. Commander Balosh, 15 streams in a row, and he can turn off me lights. Zit, I was on time. Well, I wasn't really. Well, I started early, and then, you know, roll your watch. Jesus, roll your watch back a little bit, you know. Pico is in the house. Nighthawk, very happy Monday. Epic Fool is here. So is today officially week 1 of the new TTM chapter? Indeed, it is. A new chapter, friends. Second verse, same as the first. Brilliant. But yes, good to see you, Epic. Who else come in the door here now? I'm predicting a 47-minute introduction. Wicked Lumberjacks. Rubbish. Memphis Don is here. Welcome aboard. Velo, good to see you. Where is this now? FAA ATC intro. Right? Okay, I'm here. We can start now, says Kev. Right, lads, Kev is here. Are we ready? Pencils out. Pens. Let's move on. Where's this now? Zachary, welcome aboard. I made a 93 on my my FAA IR written today. Oh, good mind yourself. Made part 93. Good man yourself. Brilliant. Right, where are we at now? I do get mildly unsettled by holding patterns, so this should be a useful stream. Yes, we hope. Epic Fool says Murph got 2 minutes of sunshine and basically burnt. Accurate, very accurate. Cutlass Ahoy is here, good to see you. Adam Controls, tier 1 for 21 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, Adam. Hope you're well. I didn't get around to any of your streams the weekend. Did you stream Saturday and Sunday, or was it just Saturday? Get back streaming, will you? Come on, be Jesus. Jojo1 is here, good to see you. Zybok Dog calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're keeping well. Now, let me see. Is it Michaela? Welcome aboard. Martel is here. Muse fan. Burst in the door with a notebook. How are you? Good to see you, Muse. Who else is here? Little Trader, good to see you. Bit of tunage. Let me see. Nicky Fizz, welcome in. Stu Snape is here. He says, how are you, Murph? Hope you're keeping well. Looking forward to London and Duxford. It'd be great to meet you and the guys. Yes, looking forward to it. Did I see Muse fan? You're coming to London. Are you coming over that neck of the woods now for the crack? Do you know? You might as well do all dayers every day. Sure, listen. You'd get tired of me faster than you usually would. Biko is in the house, good to see you. PMDG just released the 777 freighter for Flight Sim 24. Ooh, might do some messing in that tomorrow. Tom S94, happy Monday. Phantom Diablo, 3 more days, then you're off for 10 days, man. All right, nice. Sourdough Man is here, good to see you. Murph's having us, and I'm grand. Retriever Neil says, I asked the Mrs. Retriever Neil permission for the day out at Duxford. She will be signing my day past for the 26th, and I shall be bringing the Skoda. Brilliant news. Excellent news. Idle cut off. Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. Tenured is here, good to see you. Don't tell Mrs. Zith. Wait, what happened? Right. This full-time content creating. Indeed it is. Jesus. How are you, Mr. Dan? You're looking well. Right. Who else come in the door there now? We left it open. Who's here on YouTube? Look, we have Uniform Goose. G'day, Goose. Hope all is well. Dave Cleary's here. Legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. Hope all is well. Sky Vagrant, very good day to you, sir. Hope all is well. Mark Arnott is here. How are you, Mark? Mrs. TPHI, good to see you. Who else now? Jesus then. Black Sheep Jean. New music and look while waiting. Nice. Now you can finally give the leprechaun back his shirt and get a new one. You said you had to study, Murph. What have you been studying up on today? I've been reading, well, kind of, you know, different things. We'll go through some for here now, you know. Flying Tritz is here. Good to see you. ETEP, good afternoon. You're minus 7 hours from me. Well, we're in the future. And it's grand, right? All is grand. One Fly Air is in the house. Good to see you. Thomas is here. Did my sub come through? I didn't see the screen, but there's a gadget beside your name, so something's working. Do you know? Out here in the suburbs is out there in the suburbs. Very happy Monday to you. So yeah, there's quite a bit. Mr. TPHI is here as well. Good to see you, man. Hope you're all keeping very, very well. Gaseous Maximus sneaking into the back of the class. Up the front, bag and baggage. Lift up your boot. Lift up your boot. Riot. Will we get kind of going with this now? As I said, there's quite a bit to get through on this today. And flight planning is the main bit. We're hoping for a bit of ATC coverage from the Baston Virtual ARTCC here in a couple of moments. So all going well. Turn off that light. We'll ramble over here, lads, and have a look at what we're looking at. This here is the glorious, the TBM 850, and it is absolutely gorgeous. It's working all right in flights in 2024. There's some limitations I found with the PMS 50. Do you know the GTN 750? Right. Do you know, there's a bit of a, why isn't it doing what it wants to do? You know, I want to see what's under it. Lift it up, lift it up. We need to do like a watch party of just watching, you know, Divideo. That's all from Divideo, isn't it? But anyway, this is our aircraft for today. A TBM 850. Very, very capable aircraft. IFR capable aircraft. And, you know, we're going to be cruising along here somewhere between 190 and about 210 knots. So the thing can move, lads, right? It can absolutely move. So to get us started, right? To get us started, well, we're going to come on over here. And if you ramble on over to teutonmurphy.com and go into the Learn ATC series, this is where you get all the stuff, all right, including our ground school document. And there's a lot to this, lads. There's like nearly 300 pages of stuff, right? But on this, we're going to bring up two areas that we might need to spend a little bit of time just to kind of get used to or refresh ourselves, right? So what do we look for here? FAA airspace, VFR. Now I want to go down to IFR. Hang on there now. We're looking for holes and missed approaches, right? So let's talk about holding, shall we? Right? Holding. Now it's not like grab a hold of yourself. What happens is if you're trying to get into busy airspace, you might have to hold. If you go, you know, a missed approach, you might have to hold. You often see it. There's probably airports near you where you see aircraft that kind of circle around over a fairly large radius, right? I know up around kind of North Dublin, up to Gormanstown, that's a holding area for Dublin. One of them. There's another one out at sea as well. But basically, when airspace becomes congested, ATC may direct aircraft to enter a hold over a specific waypoint at a designated altitude and speed. The maneuver allows aircraft to yield to others ahead of them, ensuring orderly sequencing for the arrival phase, right? Mr. TPHI, thank you very much indeed. The flight crew, welcome in. Appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Dougal McTavish is here. Good to see you, Dougal. Energizer, yes, you need to copy over the Flight Sim 2020 930. Pop that into your community folder, and then your 850 will work. But that's how it works. Okay, so where is this now? The maneuver allows aircraft basically to be stacked. You often hear rack them and stack them, right? Typically, your star chart will outline holding points, your approaches as well, often situated around the initial approach fix. We'll have a look at some of those in a moment. Consult your charts for an accurate and up-to-date holding information. All holes should be flown at the standard ICAO hold speeds unless otherwise advised by ATC. Should the published hold become full, ATC may open a secondary unpublished hold. In this case, ATC will advise the holding details regarding the inbound track and the leg times. Effectively, you're creating almost a traffic pattern in the sky, and you wait there, all right? Maintaining the correct speed and altitude, it's crucial while in the hold. Pilots are advised to utilise the autopilot during holding patterns, if you have one, especially during peak traffic times when ATC may stack multiple aircraft at varying altitudes within the same pattern. And it's usually 1,000 feet separation. So everyone is going the same direction. They could be on different legs of the hold, right? But they're all at different altitudes. So it's not uncommon to see that, all right? Various holding entries exist depending on the approach direction. While the direct entry is commonly used, pilots are expected to employ different entry procedures when approaching the waypoint. So this is how we join a hold. Similar to what we would do joining a traffic pattern, a circuit, yeah? Similar, right? The most common, you do have a parallel, or sorry, you do have a direct entry. You also have what's known as a parallel entry, but I think the most common tends to be a teardrop entry, right? Now, lads, if you know how to do a hold and you can do a missed approach and you can do, you know, a departure and an arrival, you're good to go. I mean, you are good to go. It's only a matter now of getting familiar with the airspace. But if you can figure out all of this stuff, you're laughing. Anything beyond this, that's real technical stuff, and you don't always see it on VATSIM. If you can do this much, you're very well equipped to fly anywhere on VATSIM. Do you know? Now, the next thing is a missed approach. Before we get to the hold, in tonight's lesson, we're going to be doing a missed approach. Now, there's a couple of things how we look at a missed approach. You often hear people say a go-around, or they'll say missed approach. They're kind of the same, but they're different. Basically, you're aborting the landing. You can't land for whatever reason. You know, the aircraft isn't stable. You don't have a visual guidance on the runway. You know, you're at your decision height and you're just not good to go. Or worse, there's an obstruction. Maybe there's an aircraft on the runway, there's birds, whatever. You can't land. So you do one of two things. A go-around tends to be you'd follow a go-around procedure like a traffic pattern, or if you've to, you know, a go-around, ATC will then advise you on what to do next. Missed approach, it's kind of the same, but in a lot of cases, the missed approach, it's fully planned and routed for you, so you have to follow that as a procedure. It's a missed approach procedure, all right? So you have your minimum descent altitude, or you have your decision height. There's a couple of little differences there. When you're flying IFR, unless they're going to give you visual clearance, you're going to follow the missed approach chart. Right, and we'll follow this now here in a moment to show you what it looks like. So our ground school document covers kind of what the stuff is and you know, why it is. And we'll focus tonight on the how and our communication. All right. So we're going to ramble over here to the Boston Virtual ARTCC website, and we're going to come down here to IFR 11. It's a Checkride. This is a Checkride. So Wings 11, one of the most challenging flights in the program. Well, it focuses on some lesser used but still important IFR techniques while providing a great review of the content we've discussed thus far. It's going to take us from New Bedford Airport, Kilo Echo Whiskey Bravo, over to Plymouth Airport, Kilo Papa Yankee Mike, and then onto Portland International, Kilo Papa Whiskey Mike, as we learn about airborne IFR clearances, hold entries, and missed approach. Jesus, there's a bit here, right? Clem is here. Good to see you, man. Bonsoir. Hope all is well. So there's this. We probably didn't cover this an awful lot in terms of lessons, but we did have a look at it last week. ODPs, basically it's to do with obstacle avoidance. Now, we spoke about this. What might be an obstacle that we need to avoid when we're taking off? It could be trees, it could be cranes, buildings, mountains, right? So airports have published ODBs to let us know, hey, if you're taking off from this runway, you need a minimum climbing speed, you know, 300, 400, 500 feet per minute. And maybe there's a turn immediately after takeoff, or, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by ODPs, all right? So now that we've seen several of those at untowered airports, you might be wondering what to do if ATC simply clears you as filed when you're departing from a towered airport. Well, busier airports will often have a SID, standard instrument departure. We followed those, like the Logan 4 at Boston. At other airports, the tower will often issue you with a heading to fly in your takeoff clearance. They might say, you know, after takeoff, or turn right 270, or whatever after takeoff. But because you won't have heard radar contact in your takeoff clearance, this heading is not a guarantee of terrain obstacle avoidance or clearance. Once again, the solution here is the ODP. You may be surprised to learn that even busy airports with SIDs, including Boston, all have an ODP. By now, you are familiar with the process on how to locate these, and you should be looking at the information for KEWB, the airport. Right, so we need to have a look at said airport. So if we go down here to KEWB, right, where are you? There's Providence, so you're over here somewhere. Aha, New Bedford, right? So let's pop him into my little chart here, right? And if we have a look at it here, right, we're looking for the ODBs. So where is this now? So New Bedford Regional, we can see the information here, look. When it's attended. Right, where's this now? What else do we need to see here? Airport remarks, that's grand. runway 14. Happy lights are there, service is there, grand. What else can we do? What I'm looking for the departure chart. We'll probably bring it up here on takeoff minimums. Here we go. Right, takeoff minimums. These are important. Now, this is all freeware stuff you can get. This is all from SkyVector, right? But let's have a look. Now, we're not looking for Auburn or any of that. We're looking for, what's it called? We're looking for, what was the airport? KEWB, yeah? So let's do a find. KEWB. No, didn't like that. New Bedford, right? New Bedford. New Bedford. There it is. All right, so here's our information. B. Carlo, thank you very much indeed. 36 months. What a legend. Thank you very much. So here's some stuff here, look, right? So we can say, right, okay, here's New Bedford. And they're saying here, runway 14, standard climb of 276 nautical miles. That's okay. Departure procedure, runway 14. I see this departure procedure. It has nothing about... It doesn't say it for any other runway. This is an obstacle departure procedure, and it only applies to runway 14 or 14. Climb on heading 144 degrees to 700 feet before you turn right. All right. So that's what it doesn't. There's nothing else here. There's other obstacles to take note of, but a departure procedure or an obstacle departure procedure (ODP), it's only noted here for runway 14. So it says here, if we're using runway 14, you got to climb on heading 144 until you get to 700, then you can turn right. Right. That makes total sense. Father's Game, good to see you, man. Just picked it up, the 777 freighter, man yourself. All right, so that's good enough for me. That's our information when it comes to the ODP, right? You'll notice only one specific departure procedure for runway 14, which states climb on heading. So we just got that. There's also a few increased climb gradients in the takeoff minimum section for all runways other than 14, provided that you meet the climb gradients and or takeoff minimums as they apply. Well, you can safely turn to a heading given to your aircraft in your clearance. For runway 14 departures, terrain clearance is only guaranteed if you remain on the heading of 144 and you climb to 700 feet before turning right. There's no restriction if you turn left. It just says if you're turning right. So, if you're issued with a right turn on your takeoff clearance, you may wish to advise ATC that you will be following the obstacle departure procedure to 700 feet before you turn right. Now, ATC are also aware of the terrain, but it's no harm in letting them both know. Everyone know, hey, you do know there's an obstacle departure procedure I have to do here. Need to jump off to the side, right? Right. ATC shouldn't assign you headings that'll get you in danger, but always double check, just in case the controller isn't familiar, but I've never seen it, do you know? Also, it would be rare not to receive a heading assignment and then radar vectors from ATC when you depart a towered airport, especially one that's within radar coverage. What I mean by that is, after takeoff, you'll probably get a heading or they'll give you vectors, all right? For this reason, when you're leaving this airport, you can expect to hear fly runway heading and then receive a vector from ATC once you reach a safe altitude. Before you're instructed to proceed on course, as with many other procedures, if you're unclear on what to do, ask the question, right? Especially during the wings course. If you're doing any of the wings flights, ask the question. You're not going to sound like an idiot. It'll be worse if you make a mistake and say nothing. If you're unsure, just ask, all right? The approach we're going to fly at Plymouth is the ILS runway 6. As with approaches at other untowered airports, ATC will not assign this approach. We're going to be expected to request it. Part of the challenge for this portion of the flight is filing a flight plan that will allow you to fly this approach. ATC won't provide vectors on this rating. One important note, literally, on the approach chart is the text located just below the Providence VOR. Now, does anyone know what this means? See this? Procedure NA for arrival on the Providence VOR, DME airway radials 093 CW165. Can anyone take an old stab at trying to decipher that? So procedure NA. NA, we know that's non-applicable, right? Non-applicable. So no, you can't do it, right? For an arrival on the Providence VOR or the DME, doesn't matter. If you're arriving to the Providence VOR, it's basically saying your procedure is non-applicable or not allowed, right? on radials 093, well, that's a radial, okay. Anyone know what the CW might mean? Because you have 093 and 165, yeah? The Bob Ross. So let's say, for example, here, this is the VOR, right? This is our VOR, and this is going to be Providence. Okay? So basically what they're saying here is, between the radial of 093, which is roughly that guy, to 165, which is roughly that guy, what they're saying is CW. Anyone can take a guess? CW. Clockwise. So from here, clockwise, to here, anything inside this area, not allowed. So we cannot make our approach this way. We can't go this direction. Not allowed, right? So what we need to make sure is, and anyone know why we can't do that? Think about it, right? Because our destination, the other airport, it's over this neck of the woods here, yeah? So if we were coming up, let's say, if we were coming up this way, we'd have to do a savage turn to get ourselves back on track. So that's why they don't allow this. It's too tight, right? So what we need to make sure is we need to approach the Providence VOR from any other location that is not in the 093 or 165 radial. That makes sense? Because they're saying it's clockwise. 093 to 165. CW means clockwise. So it's moving this direction. Yeah? That makes sense? We following so far? Good. So, with that said, we can't ramble up this way. Balls, says I. So if we look at Sky Vector and we're saying, well, look, here's our plan. Here's our plan. We want to go from Bedford and we want to go on up to Plymouth, right? So this is a very straightforward flight plan. This is great, right? So what was it? KEWB over to KPYM. KPYM. So look at this. It's only a 10-minute flight. Wonderful, right? But we can't do that because we need to pick up the ILS 6 approach. Okay. So therefore, we need to hit that Providence VOR from the south. Because here's the VOR right here. And if we have a look at the charts here for the low charts, here's the VOR, right? So, well, balls to it, we can't do that. So we're going to start planning now our flight of how this might work, right? Welcome to Flight Crew, Mutt Dog. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers, man. Right, so how are we going to figure this one out? Plan it easy. I'll always recommend, just plan it easy, right? So we have a couple of options. We can say, okay, we can take off. We want to get down this neck of the woods somewhere. Yeah, we want to see this 165. You can see that 165 right there. Look, we don't want to be anywhere near that devil, right? So we want to kind of this neck of the woods. Okay, well, let's look around the chart. What do we see? Well, there's a nice airway here. Look at this, Victor 374. And there's a waypoint there called Minnock. Falmouth is right on the 165, so that's a little bit too tight. Or we can go further. This one here is called Wacky. We can go all the way out there to make sure. But what if we say, look, we're flying IFR. We could use these GPS waypoints, but what about a VOR station? And I'm looking at Martha's Vineyard there because it's kind of screaming at me. So what if we say, well, I tell you what, we're going to fly to Martha's Vineyard, the VOR, right? And when we have that done, well, we need to get ourselves up to the Providence VOR. But we can't do that just by flying from Martha's Vineyard because, well, that puts us inside that area where they're telling us you're not allowed. All right. So what if we did fly on the Victor 374 down as far as, try that Minnock. And now we go to Providence. Well, now we're looking good. We're outside of that 165 and the 093. Yeah. We're able to then fly over the Providence VOR on track when we get to Plymouth. But look what it's done to our flight. It's gone from a 10-minute flight to just over an hour. And this is a reality when it comes to IFR. VFR, relatively straightforward. We can fly as close to the areas as we can. And if ATC allow us, well, sure, we can fly through that airspace. IFR is very different. Very, very different because our approach, we need to plan our approach into Plymouth. And the only way we're going to do that is going to be from the Providence VOR. The problem with the Providence VOR, it's not allowing us enter it from a radial of 093 heading clockwise down to 165. So we have to change our routing. Now, if I have a look at this to me looks pretty good. All right. So we're going to take off from New Bedford. We're going to track the Martha's Vineyard VOR. So we'll need to write down that frequency. Then we're going to follow the Victor 374 airway all the way down to Minnock. Then it's going to be a right turn and we start tracking the 013 radial into Providence. Okay. Once we get to Providence, then we got to figure out what we're going to do because we want the approach into Plymouth. All right. Well, let's go in and have a look at Plymouth. Do we have... Here it is. Go back one. See this ILS? Here's the ILS approach chart for Plymouth. Well, let's have a look at this divil. Well, this is showing me straight away. Here's the Providence VOR. Yeah, so that's where we're going to be entering this from. Our instruction is we're going to be down at 3,000 feet. And our initial fix is going to be Bovkey. Or Bovkey, yeah? And we can see our descent glide path here. So we want to be down at around 3,000 feet as we hit Bovkey. Then it's going to be at Aed or Aid. And then we're down. That's the first part done. That is what the ILS approach is. Wonderful. So from the Providence VOR, we're going to head out to Bovkey and then we're going to be landing, hopefully, well, we're not landing, we know we're actually doing a missed approach, right? So let's start talking about a missed approach. So we can get ourselves onto the ILS, that's great, and proceed to land, but we know this lesson, they're going to throw a curveball at us. Well, no, we want you to do a missed approach. Oh, bother. So let's have a look here. On the chart, top right-hand corner, missed approach. Climb to 640, then climbing right turn to 2000 on a heading of 100 degrees. And on the Boston VOR, on the radial of 162 to FREDO, you hold. Huh? Let's have a look at it. So we're coming in this neck of the woods here. We go missed approach. Here's our climbing turn right to 100 degrees. Here's the FREDO waypoint, yeah? And then we enter the hold. This is the hold because we're on the Boston radial of 162. That's where we live, right? I'd actually love a FREDO. Do you remember FREDO bars? They were lovely. Hey, ailerons into wind. Good to see you, man. How's the house husband light treating you? Listen, I was singing and everything doing the dishes. It was great. Do you know? Hope you're well, mate. All right, okay. Now, there's quite a bit of information getting thrown at us, but try not to worry. FREDO was not an airfield. FREDO is a waypoint, all right? It's just a standard GPS waypoint. It's after the airfield because what we're going to do, we'll do the ILS approach after we leave the Providence VOR. It's an ILS approach for runway 6. We're going to declare missed approach. Our instruction is climb to 640 feet. Then when climbing right, turn to 2000, then climbing right turn to 2,000 feet, turn your heading to 100. So we're going to be at 640 feet, climb, start a right turn to 100 degrees and level off at 2,000 feet. Then we're going to enter the hold. And we can see here we have the outbound radial, which is 162 degrees, and we have the inbound radial of 342 degrees. This is what we need to type into our gadget to make it look like it's supposed to work. Okay, that's the first part of the flight. Any questions so far? The text indicates that the following route off Providence is not authorized if you're arriving at Providence along the airways of the radials of 039 to 165. This is because the turn of Providence will be too sharp for you to safely intercept and establish the feeder route. In other words, if you plan to fly to Providence via 139, 167, 146 or 405, you're out of luck because each of those airways are in or between those radials. Flying directly from New Bedford is also not possible as you'd be arriving at Providence from the area that's not authorized. Okay. So one possible route would be departing, and that's exactly what I've just done, departing New Bedford, go down to Martha's Vineyard. We'll take the Victor 374 airway up to Minnock. Then we're going to fly direct into Providence, join the approach from there, and then we're going to be hanging a right out onto the ILS runway 6. Fortunately, flying the approach is much easier than flying an efficient route. Cross the Providence VOR and then join the 099 radial outbound until you intercept the localizer. You can descend as low as 3000 once established on the 099 radial, and you should intercept the glide slope shortly after Bufk. With no course reversal depicted on the approach, flying the ILS is pretty much as simple. But that would be too easy. Instead of landing at the airport, you're going to execute the missed approach procedure, enter the published hold, and then we're going to divert to Portland Airport. Note that a missed approach is not the same as a go-around. A missed approach is following a published set of instructions included on every instrument approach that guarantees terrain and obstacle separation in the event that the runway environment is not in sight by the decision height or missed approach point. A go-around is a visual procedure initiated by either the pilot or ATC, and it's often accompanied by an assigned heading and altitude until the departure controller can begin issuing new vectors. Okay. Every instrument approach shows the missed approach procedure, and we can see it here. They're showing it on the chart. I looked at it on the top right hand corner. I also looked at the map to give me an idea of how it's actually going to look like, yeah? And then we have other information down here because we can see climb to 640 feet, right turn up to 2,000 feet on a heading of 100, intercept the Boston VOR radial of 162, and the waypoint is FREDO. All right. So, per the instructions, the missed approach procedure is to climb to 640. We've gone through that. Because we're going to arrive at FREDO, which we can identify either by looking at the Boston VOR, 32.6 miles under DME, or crossing the LFV 271 radial. LFV is Marconi, that's a VOR. On the opposite side of the depicted holding pattern, you can enter the hold in either of two ways. The first option, parallel hold, which was covered earlier on, and the other one then is the teardrop entry. We're probably going to do this one here, lads, and it looks like a teardrop. That's where they got it, right? Teardrop. All right. After arriving at FREDO, via either entry method, you must make a right turn 180 degrees, fly for 1 minute, then make a right turn again to be established in the holding pattern. Okay. This is a fair amount of new material, so review it thoroughly and ensure that you're comfortable with the concepts. Well, we'll see. Providing the information is useful to ATC. So we're going to be saying, we have the weather and NOTAMs for Plymouth. Request ILS runway 6 approach to a missed approach. So that's what we're going to request. But they might ask us to state our intentions. Right. ATC will then tell us to get over to Unicom or CTAF, begin announcing your intentions to other traffic, and then when it all goes wrong, we'll have to jump back and talk to ATC once again. So there's quite a bit to do here. But we'll take it one step at a time, right? Now, if we're going to head up then to Portland, right? Well, let's start having a now look at that, because when we get into the hold over here, yeah, we're going to be told to wait. So if we're going to hold here, well, let's just add FREDO. Then we're going to hold here, right? Now we need to figure out where Portland is, and that's it up there, isn't it? Look, it's miles away. Look, it's miles away. We have to get all the way up here, right? So how are we going to do it, lads? Well, ATC are going to tell us, but let's just have a look at a couple of different things we can be focusing on just to make life easy. They could give us one of the airways and lead us up to Boston directly and then go on from Boston. They've already made reference to the Marconi VOR, so in an ideal world, I would look to go to the Marconi VOR, follow the Victor 167 airway all the way up to either the Sanford VOR, or we can go in and join the Kennebrook VOR, right? Because that's where we need to land. So that's ideally that's the easiest one for me. It's because it's very straightforward. Just follow on that airway until you get there, right? But ATC are going to tell us what to do. For that, we need to keep this chart open because they're going to plot our route. Ideally, we're going to be in the hold, autopilot engaged, and we're letting ATC tell us what's happening. Now, if ATC, they might ask us, hey, do you have a preferred route? Is there somewhere you would like to go? Hell yeah. Send me over this direction, please. But if they don't say that, we have to react to it. All right? Let's see what happens. Lads, the worst thing that can happen is it'll explode, there'll be flames, and I'll run out. It was right. I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen. Right. Let's give it a bash then and see what happens, shall we? There's me beautiful drawing. Look, Jesus, Bob Ross. Yeah, don't save that. Right, so here we are with our beloved TPM. Looking at the weather, we'll have to get the weather, but looking at the weather, it's not, it's IFR, isn't it? There's lots of rain in the area, Should be a bit of crack. Dougal says, I've huge admiration for the guys doing this in GA aircraft. So much easier in the airliners. The FMC, it is so automated. I agree. I absolutely agree. But like the old story, if you can do this in general aviation aircraft, come to the airliners, it's going to be a lot more easier. A lot more easier, you know? Right, so we better file it out. Flight plan, lads. What do you reckon? Let's have a look here now. So we're going to go to SimBrief. Because we need to file a flight plan. Dispatch system. Gone in here. Let's see what happens. Now, I wonder, do I just put in... I do. I just put in my first flight. So, flight... Aircraft, November 235 Romeo Mike, that's me. We're departing out of New Bedford and we want to go first to KPYM. Aircraft type is going to be that of a TBM. Now we can also put our alternate in here as well because we know where we're going. It won't be K-Boss. So we're actually going to head all the way up to KPWM. And look at that. It's pretty much given us... Well, it's not going out as far that neck of the woods. It's just saying, right, you can go up this way. All right, okay. All right, let's have a look here now. So that's all grand. That's all grand. 40 minutes. Departure runway 32 is active, right? The arrival runway, we want to plan for 06 because I want the ILS for 06, right? And we're going to start putting in our own route here. So after takeoff, we're going to go to the MVY. We're going to go to V374, Minnick, Providence, and then something like that. Right, I didn't like Minnick. Get rid of the extra I, you big idiot. There we go. Now that looks like a plan, doesn't it? Let me see. Feather Tuna, good to see you. Sticky Rice, welcome in. Two Dogs, welcome aboard. Angels 1-5, welcome in, lads. Right, okay, so we're going to be departing down to the Vineyard, over to the airway, Minnick, into the Providence VOR, and then we head in. When things go wrong, it's out then to the FREDO hold, and that's where we need to hold. All right. Now, altitude for this one. Here's a question now, because when we take off, we're traveling both east and west. So any ideas on what altitude, lads? I'd be half inclined.
Hello there.
Half inclined to say easterly. Aviation Will, good to see you. Max Stallion, welcome in. What would you think, lads? If we're heading west, we need an even altitude. If we're heading east, we need an odd altitude. So what would you use for here? Squawk Savage, good to see it. Initial. Yeah, you can put in your initial. East majority. Destination is east of departure. Yeah. It's a good one, isn't it? I'm going to put in an easterly one, right? But we'll see. We'll see how that goes, right? Because there's also weather clearance we need to worry about as well. Yeah. So I'm going to put in 11,000. 11000. 11,000 for the sheer crack of it. And sure, if they give out to us, lads, they'll give out to us, right? Right. That looks good to me. Let's generate that. And let's see what happens. Do. That looks good. I want to file this onto FATSIM. We'll pop it in. IFR TBM 11,000. Airspeed 210. Fuel endurance we'll put in 4 hours. Plenty of holes. Route is that, and we'll just put in wings IFR hashtag 11. Let's file that. Flight plan has been filed. Lovely. Drag you over there. Now, in terms of getting myself set up for this, lads, right? Here's Navigraph. We're going to need this information. It is of vital importance. Yeah. So we need to track our flight at all times. Very important. So our departure runway here is 32 based on the weather. So we're down at the FBO ramp, and I'm expecting a taxi Bravo runway 32. We should get vectors to get us around to the right or the left, probably to the right, and then we're going to head down to the Martha's Vineyard VOR, and from there we kind of carry on and see what happens. Right? This is going to be hilarious. I will make mistakes, but sure, listen, grand, right? All they can do is give out to me. Let us connect to VATSIM. This is number 11, Nighthawk. Number 11. What time of day is it now? We probably don't have any ATC. Oh, we do. We have a bit of ATC, do we? Let's see. We do. We have ATC online. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Right. Into our little airplane. And let's start tidying things up. We're going to get the engine doors closed. And we'll go ahead and get the rear door closed. I do love the TBM. Locked, and good. All right, wheel shocks, pitot covers, and the engine covers can go away. Sufficient fuel in both tanks, 120 on each. Engine conditions looking good. Electrical systems currently off. And everything else here to me, well, that looks pretty good. Make sure our engine controls are ready to rock, so that's all off. That's off. Inertial separator when we be turning on some power. And we'll start putting some power into the aircraft. So, master switch. That's our inertial separator opening. And get our nav lights on while we're waiting. Instrument lights can be turned on as well. Alrighty, so fuel pump on. Auto select. Prop full. Ignition auto. Starter engage. Okay, so we're looking at the NG for rotation, and we're going to wait till we get up to around 18%, then we shall introduce some fuel. Once we introduce the fuel, we're going to monitor ITT for a hot start, and then keep watching our NG for a hung start. Either of those, if we have a hot or a hung start, we pull the mixture. Okay, condition level low idle. Fuel coming in, ITT be rising. Peak at 695. NG is now rising. Once you go over 50%, disengage the starter. That's a good start. Ignition goes to auto. Generator online. And we continue with our flows. Pitot install. Alright. I closed the cowling. Yes, sir. Okay, so what do we have? We have a tower here, but I don't see any ATIS. Let's see what happens. 118.1. 1181. Okay, this. Okay, that. Alright, into our flight plan. Sarah origin. KEWB. Destination for this one is going to be KPYM. Plymouth. We're going to go via Martha's Vineyard. After Martha's Vineyard, we're going to go to Providence. So we're going to load an airway. It's the Victor 374. And we're going to jump off at Minnock. Then it's going to be to Providence. And then it's going to be the load procedure. The approach will be for the ILS 6. Load. And that's put in our hold as well. Alright, that looks good to me. Back up the road we go. Let's quickly check our flight plan. That looks good to me. Now, frequencies for the VOR. The Vineyard, 114.5. 1145, and then Providence, we'll put that one in there as well. 1156. So there's our two VORs dialed in. Not certain if this makes a difference, but you loaded vectors to the approach instead of Providence. Did I? Ah, good man. Yeah, that looks better. Well spotted, Marco. Okay, ATIS is online, 126850. Let's jump in and have a listen. What did we say? 126850. ATIS? No sounds. New Bedford, November 235, Romeo Mike, radio check.
November 235, Romeo Mike, New Bedford Tower, good evening, 5x5.
5x5 also. Sir, we don't have the ATIS working that we can hear, but we can check it out on the app.
Yeah, I just got it up and running. It's just going to take 1 second. I just have to record it.
Sweet. Alright. That's okay. Looks a bit dark out there. Yeah, man, it's freaking nuts looking. So we're going to get the ATIS here now in a moment. We'll tune our radio in, and once the ATIS is ready with the controller, he'll let us know. Okay, so let's just make sure the aircraft is doing what we want to do. I'll keep it in low idle for the moment. Icing conditions, so like it's 66 outside, that's 19 degrees, it's quite warm, but we're going up pretty high, and those clouds, I mean, do you know, then it's going to be wet, lads, isn't it? It's just going to be wet. So let's have a look here on... What am I looking for? I'm looking for a button. Here we go. I'm looking for the VATSIM radar. So let's go over here and have a gawk, right? So we're down here at here, right? And our flight is looking kind of mad. Now, will this load in me flight plan? It should do, shouldn't it? Yeah. Providence approach. And then we have Boston Center. So we have a couple of different controllers online. I love this. They're so sound. Stu Snape, you absolute mad devil. 5 gifted tier 1 subs to the community on Twitch. Stu, thank you very, very much indeed, man. Jesus.
Bedford Airport ATIS information Bravo current 18530 Zulu, wind 340 at 8 gust 20, wind variable between 290 and 010, visibility 10, broken.
Have a listen
5,000.
now.
Temperature 19, 2.08, altimeter 2963, visual approach and use landing and departing runway 23. Advise you have information Bravo.
2963.
New Bedford Airport ATIS information Bravo current 18530 Zulu, wind 340 at 8 gust 20, wind variable between 290 and 010, visibility 10, broken 5,000, temperature 19, 2.08, altimeter 2963, visual approach and use landing and departing runway 23. Advise you have information Bravo.
Okay, information Bravo is current, and they're giving us runway 23, so back to our little plan of attack. So it's not runway 32, it's runway 23. Alright, let's have a look. That changes the laws of physics. That's Providence, Murph. So where's 23? Up there. So we're going to get Alpha cross 32, and then we're going to go up this way. So when we take off, again, it's only runway 14 that has the obstacle departure procedure, right? The other ones just have kind of standard climb outs that we need to... There's nothing really there to worry about. 14 is the one that we have to be careful of. 23 is grand. We'll be taking off. We're going to get runway heading. Then we're going to plan for a left turn to get down to that VOR. All right? So it's runway 23. That's selected. And looking here where we think we're going, it's going to be taxi Bravo Alpha. That's what I reckon. Right? Let's see what happens here. It'll only go from bad to worse. So we need to look for our clearance. New Bedford Tower, November 235, Romeo Mike, TBM 850 over at the FBO. Information Bravo, looking to pick up our IFR clearance over to Plymouth, and this is for the Wings IFR 11 flight.
November 235, Romeo Mike, Wings IFR 11 is approved, cleared to Plymouth. As filed, maintain 2,000, expect amended altitude of 9,010 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 123.67, squawk 4754.
We are clear to Plymouth as filed. Initial altitude 2,000. Expect 9,000 10 minutes after. Departure on 123.67. Squawk 4754. November 235 Romeo Mike.
Number 5 Romeo Mike. Reback's truck. Give me a call ready.
Look up.
Hello there.
Alrighty. So that a bit of information that we got. So we're cleared as filed. Nice. We're going to get an initial climb up to 2,000 feet. We can expect 9,000 feet 10 minutes after departure. Our departure will be on 12367. 123,670. Dial that in. So I'm ready to go. 670. 123,675. 123,670. There we go. Why doesn't it like the 0? It's 5. Okay. Squawk. We got a squawk. That's 4754. 4754. Go ahead and turn that on. We're not on. It uses 25 kilohertz. Yeah. I think we're okay. Foxido, thank you very much indeed for the follow. Welcome in, man. You have to follow now. You got a gifted sub. Brilliant. Right. Let's have a look. That's good. That's good. Cabin temperature 21 degrees. That's good. Taxi light coming on. That's all looking all right. Inertial separator, leave it on. Temperature down here a little bit, but that'll all sort itself out. So we're going to be requesting our taxi now. On November 235 Romeo Mike, we are ready for taxi.
Number 235 Romeo Mike, runway 23, taxi via Bravo Alpha, cross runway 32.
Runway 23, taxi via Bravo Alpha, cross runway 32, November 235 Romeo Mike. Alright, it's what we kind of half expected. Brakes off. Left is clear. Right is clear. And power into the aircraft. And let's start moving. Alright. Hey, 98 Vulcan, good to see you. Digital Mark, yeah man, it's awesome, isn't it? Alright, we're on Bravo. We ramble down and see what's going to happen. This is going to be hilarious, lads. Expect many mistakes. Lieutenant Bob, welcome aboard, man. So we're going to make a right turn here onto Alpha. No other aircraft visitors this evening. But this video will stay live on YouTube, so, you know, if be sure to look it back and, you know, I might do something right. Now, that's only a might. Hang a right. We already have permission to cross 3-2. Go ahead and stick on our landing lights because we're on a runway. Right's clear. Left's clear. Continue on. We're now on Alpha. Hey, PH Roy, good to see you. Over well, man. Jeez, look at that cloud, lads. Jesus. Remember, folks, full-time Moan Change Murph. He's still a complete idiot. I couldn't have put it any better myself. Okay, so we're going to be using VOR navigation once we get airborne. That's going to be tracking down to the Martha's Vineyard. Then we can go back into our GPS nav mode. Flight direct doors coming on. Arm that. Arm that. Runway heading. Now we're as filed. So after takeoff, I can just go straight to that Martha's Vineyard. I'm pretty sure. But again, I have a stupid question, and there's no such thing as a stupid question, so let's ask the question. Because I'm not actually sure, right? Like, can I just turn immediately after takeoff and start tracking? I think I can. But what, like, the last time I thought I was...
Over 5 Romeo Mike, the wind 310 at 10, gust 19. Turn left heading 210 and a 23, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 23, and we'll be turning 210 degrees for November 235 Romeo Mike. That answers that. God bless him. God bless him. Okay, quick check. Approach is clear. Runway is clear. Lights are on. Transponder altitude reporting. That was handy, wasn't it? Yeah, Murph, it's okay. We'll hold your hand, you big Egypt. Thanks very much. Flaps. After takeoff, it's going to be a left turn over to 210, and we'll be climbing up to 2,000 feet. All right. Jez, the wind is giving a hockey there now, isn't it? All right. Easy does it now, Jemima. Okay, we are walking, talking, and squawking. Let's go flying. Power coming in. Alright, takeoff power set. Speed alive. Awesome guys are absolutely awesome, yes. They'll hold your little hand. What? Get out with that, Creo. Massive hands. There's 80. We're looking for a rotate of about 90. Oopsie daisy. Woohoo! There's the wind. Pause the rate of climb. Gear up. Tapping our toe brakes. Easy now. Easy now. I'd always like to get to about 400 feet before turning. Easy. Easy. Alright, engage the autopilot. Left turn coming in. 210 degrees. And let's start dialing in the Martha's Vineyard.
Over 5 Romeo Mike, contact departure, good night.
Over to departure, thanks so much for 5 Romeo Mike. Legend! One, 2, 3, 6, 7, 5. Departure, good afternoon, November 235 Romeo Mike, passing 1,500 for 2,000.
November 235 Romeo Mike, Providence departure, good afternoon, your radar contact, climb maintain 9,000.
Climb maintain 9,000, 5 Romeo Mike. Jesus, get up there, you devil, you. 9,000, Murphy, you can do it. Get me back now. There we go. 9,000, arm it. There we go. We'll put in 250 and we'll put it into IAS mode here now in a moment. Speed is good. Power is good. Let's see what happens. Don't forget we can leave feedback. Yes, we can. Always give feedback if you can. They do a great job, lads. Like, they really do a great job.
Number 5 Romeo Mike, clear direct Martha's Vineyard.
Clear direct to the Vineyard for 5 Romeo Mike. Right, where's the Vineyard from here? Right turn. I mean a left turn. It's alright, lads, don't worry about it. The flag was going the wrong direction. Get in there now, quick. Would you get in and align yourself with the gadget, please? Right, direct there now. Get in there now. Get in. Alright, that's better. IS mode, watch the speed. We can turn off that inertial separator. 850 mode engaged, and we can bring that torque right up the barrel. We've a bit of wind here, but we're okay. Let us now... We're going direct to, so we can probably put a direct to here. MVY, let's put in. MVY, enter, enter. Nav, and let's go GPS. Master caution, torque. Don't break your engines, Murph. Easy now. Passing 6,000 feet. We're direct now to the vineyard. After that, it's going to be a right turn onto that airway. We're climbing up to 9,000 feet. Breaking through the clouds. Jesus, isn't it only lovely? Right, left, 50-50 chance of being correct. I'm always getting it. It's terrible. It's terrible. Hey, Flipper Alloy, good to see you, man. Right, current situation. We've just left New Bedford. We're now flying direct to the Martha's Vineyard VOR. We're climbing up to 9,000 feet. It's going to be a right turn onto the airway of Victor 37 something 374, right? And from 374 all the way over to Mink. Yes, we're heading to Mink. Then it's a right turn up to the Providence VOR. Excellent. The good thing about IAS mode, that's indicated airspeed. The airplane will only pitch in order to maintain the speed you set it at. Meaning that, you know, if you leave it in VS, vertical speed, you could easily forget about it. Next thing you'll stall. IAS mode, you won't stall. In feedback, something I only learned after many years of simming, for GA aircraft, gear up only when positive rate plus runway departed. So no gear up as long as you have runway to bounce back. Depends, but yes, I would agree with that sentiment. If you have useful runway in front of you, keep your gear down in case you need to abort it. One thing I will say about the TBM, the gear movement is very slow. Very slow. Is it like flight level change in other planes? I'm not actually sure. Flight level change. Nav, please. Flight level. Why did that come off nav? Flight level change. I imagine it is actually. Yeah, I imagine it is. Probably is in every plane. Well, some aircraft you have to be careful because of the speed. Yeah. Why did that come off? Did I press the button there, lads? No? Anyway, we're tracking straight to the VOR. It does the same thing. There we go. Alright, quick checking what we're doing. Outside air temperature is -1. We're above the cloud layer. We'll keep an eye out for ice. But we're above it at the moment. This is a nice altitude to be at. And we're now tracking towards the Martha's Vineyard VOR. It's going to be a right turn here shortly. And then we kind of go on to that Victor 374. So we can see a right turn coming in 5 seconds. Here's a right turn. And what I'm going to do, I can just change the VOR frequency. So we currently have 1145. Providence is 1156. So we'll go 1156. And I can see down here where the VOR is. It is behind us, but that's okay. But we're going to be tracking that once we get to Mink, yeah? So cold in the plane. Oh Jesus, it is. 5 degrees, Murphy. 5 degrees. Jesus. Right, get the old heaters on there now, lads. Okay, so 9,000 is set in the box. So far, so good, lads. So far, so good. I don't see any traffic here I need to worry about. Turn it on. We have traffic on. ADS-B is working well. I don't see traffic. You can probably turn it on in here. Nav. ADS-B. Turn it on. Enter. 24-mile blip. We'll keep that there to help me out with traffic. 777's popping up all over the network. Nice. Saving energy on cooling drinks. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Right, okay, let us refer to our charts. Where are we looking at now, lads? So there is the Vineyard VOR. We're now going to join the Victor 374 airway all the way down to Mink. Then it's up to Providence. Then we're going to be going for the ILS runway 6 approach, then a missed approach, and then we're going to enter a hold over at FREDO. When we get to FREDO, then we're going to have to get a new IFR clearance to get us up to Portland. There's quite a lot going on here, but so far, so good. We haven't killed anyone yet. I mean, that's a great advantage, you know. Flying in my neck of the woods, hammer nails, put the kettle on, man. Good to see it. Alright, so our speed is actually pretty good. We're getting good airspeed, about 220. And we're at 9,000. I've no updates to any barometric stuff. KPWM is up and running. KPYM is where we're heading. So we're still with Providence approach right now. Providence is 10 miles from your house, 5 by the crow's flight. No way! Favorite thing in my old training 152 was cooling my refreshing iced coffee out the window. Yes. Not at all, Dougal. Not at all. Hopefully there's stuff in this that, you know, you're able to pick up and follow along with. A lot of the procedures we're doing today, if you can figure these out, or at least feel confident to try them, or just practice them. If you're able to do this stuff, you're flying online, you just have that extra layer of confidence, man. You know what I mean? And I cannot recommend enough flying in New England, right? I mean, the Boston Virtual ARTCC, these I've never met these, outside of Evan, I've never met these lads before, or maybe in passing, a quick hello. I really appreciate everything that they do. Like, they're giving, it's their hobby, I get that, but like, they give up a lot of time, and like, they're extra sound. They're friendly folks, you know what I mean? There's a lot of ATC that they're just muppets. You always know that muppet controller, like, you know what I mean? These lads, super, super helpful. And they're damn good at what they do. Okay. Things are going to start happening fairly quickly now. My tip, if you feel things getting away from you, just drop your speed a little bit. I mean, look it, we're cruising here nicely. We're fairly booting it, in fact, but we can always bring it back. You know what I mean? Boston. Okay, so this is the Falmouth waypoint. We're on the airway, and then it's going to be a right turn at Mink as we track towards the Providence VOR. So if we want to see where that VOR direction is, we can see it down here. See that yellow line? That's showing us the position of where our nav radio is tuned into. Don't worry about the green one right now. It's the yellow one. That's giving us a rough idea. So we know the Providence is at a heading of 330, which is over here, which is out our right window. Which is correct, because if we bring up the chart, we're here. Here's the Providence VOR. See how that works? Again, try and get used to the aircraft that you're flying. Familiarity. If you can figure out the aircraft, if you know what makes it tick, you're laughing. Is VNav working on your TBM? Mine is not responding. Time stands still. Natco, it is working. There's a bug in the sim at the moment that I'm aware of, because time doesn't actually work. See that clock down here in our chrono? That's 2020. Although, hang on, that is working. I think it's the sim time. Even though the sun and all that is moving, I think the timings aren't. So, arrival waypoint Falmouth. Next one up then is Mink. We're cruising nicely. No traffic next to near us. These are the Stevo 1 Canevo cameras I have running. And they're very fancy. You watch enough of Stevo, do you know what I mean? You're coming in close to Quonset, shared the Air National Guard base with GA. Oh, nice, hammer nails. Am I going to the Beta 3? I don't think so, Heisenberg. Direct 280. Next waypoint now is Mink. The problem is, if I jump onto the Sim Update 3 Beta, we can't do multiplayer, you know? Top of the clouds could have, yeah, like we would get an ice warning here if she detected it, but yeah, we can turn it on. Prop de-ice. Put the airframe de-icer on now in a moment. See the boots expand on the wing? So they're designed to break off ice that form on the wing, yeah? It's no harm putting it on because we're going to be descending through this cloud at the moment. It is freezing, it's 0 degrees, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Windshield is fine, no ice picked up in our glass. We'll see how we go. How are we looking outside? That's terrible, terrible nice, isn't it? Look at that. Gorgeous. Isn't that something else? Beautiful. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that's a great tip as well. So, Digital Mark saying, IFR reminder, keep your heading aligned with your direction of travel. Comes in very handy. Or if you know you're going to be turning a certain direction, once you hit a waypoint, have that dialed in as your heading. So we're going to be making a right turn here in a couple of moments. We're just 6 miles out from the Mink waypoint. Now, I know things are going to start getting very busy, right? As we start tracking towards that VOR at Providence, things are going to get busy. So I'm going to start bringing me power back ever so slightly and maybe keep my speed at around 190. That's going to give me, at this speed and the distance, an extra 5 minutes to kind of deal with stuff in my head, right? So we'll just drag it back nice and easy. I'm also going to jump out of 850 mode because we're going to keep the engine under its torque, which means I can then re-engage the inertial separator a little bit later on. Still can't decide between the TBM 850 and the PC12. I just love the TBM, man. The PC12 is awesome, but the TBM to me is just beautiful. Roy says, Sim Update 3 beta, huge step forward. This thing is loading like lightning strike. A minute 30 and you're in the main menu. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So we're now going to start tracking the Providence VOR. That is our next waypoint. We're still on GPS mode, which is fine. And we'll probably get estate intentions. We want to do an ILS for runway 6 and the missed approach. I'm just writing that down so I know what to say. Just bought the PC-24. Nice one, Death Angel. Think this still needs a little bit of work, but it's a gorgeous looking aircraft, man. It's friggin' sweet. Okay, so speed is doing pretty much what I want to do. Now, do we have an ATIS for... We don't. We have Providence ATIS. We should get it off the controller. Let's see what happens. As we track now towards Providence, we're 20 miles out. Hey, Paul, good to see you, man. 2020 aircraft should work unless it states otherwise, yes. Some of them work better than others, but yeah, they should work. They'll tell you if it doesn't work at all. Coronado have a C-182 from flights of 2020. That just will not work at all in 2024, which is a shame. So it's not compatible. Clearly they were using assets they didn't own. Coronado, would they do something like that? Yes. They didn't teeth them or anything, like they were just using a Sobos. Man, look at that view there, look. Jesus, look at that, lads. This sim, outside of multiplayer right now, the performance, touch wood, don't get a CTD, it's beautiful. It really is. Look at that, look.
November 5, Romeo Mike. One able advise you of the weather and NOTAMs at Plymouth and say your approach request.
Weather and Plymouth. 119050. Right. Cheeky check with the weather. KPVM. What am I looking for? Waypoint info. Airport. KPVM. KPYM. Plymouth. Weather. 2964. Grand. Okay. And November 235 Romeo Mike, confirm we have the weather and NOTAMs. We would like the ILS runway 6 approach, then missed approach, if possible.
November 5 Romeo Mike. Roger, would you like to take the approach from the Providence VOR?
Yes, please, for 5 Romeo Mike.
November 5 Romeo Mike. Alright, you're 11 miles from Providence, cross Providence at or above 3000, cleared ILS runway 6 approach into Plymouth.
Cleared for the ILS 6 approach, and we will cross the Providence VOR at 3000 feet for 5 Romeo Mike. All right.
Number 5, runway Mike, you can cross at or above 3,000 feet.
Roger, at or above 3,000 for 5 runway Mike. Lovely. Right, let's see here now. So we're going to go down into flight plan. Where's my Providence VOR? RGB. At or above. So let's go 5,000 just for the sheer crack of it. Horse that in. And now we're going to go to our VNAV, Providence. Right, we can actually start horsing that in now. So call it 5,000 feet. Let's go ahead and arm that. And let's start dropping down. She wants about 1,000 on her V-speed. Watch the power as we start descending. And let's see what happens. Mark out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not the full-time streamer doing the work, Lurk. Good to see you, Limbics. How are you, man? Yeah, the clouds are savage, Dermot, aren't they? Gorgeous. Hey, Hayden is here. Good to see you. Alright, watch your speed. Keep your eye on the charts. We're cleared for the ILS, right? At or above.
Hello there.
VS required. Let's double that. XQ Jetflyer, good to see you, man. Many thanks for the follow. You're welcomed in. Okay, so it's going to be the Providence VOR, then a right turn, yeah? And then we need to go mist. Brilliant. Keep an eye out for ice. We're 5 miles out from that VOR. We have started to descend. We're going to go down to 5,000 feet. Watch your speed while we're doing this. Oh, look at that in the distance, lads. Beautiful. Alright, so far so good. Weird airspeed indicator. I thought you were about to stall. Ooh. Okay, we are descending here nicely. Speed is looking good. Inertial separator will stick you back on because we're planning to land this puppy. We'll get a warning here now in a moment. For those who are struggling with the wavelength sound from Elgato, latest software update contains a bug. Roll back one version, then you're all good. Nice. Okay, 1,000 feet to go. GPS is telling us arriving at Providence. Is it going to be a right turn? And we're going to go for the ILS approach. Flight plan. There's the approach. It's going to be a right turn. Master caution, that's okay. It's just for the inertial separator. Okay, we should be turning right on the 099 radial. In 1 second. Start the turn. Didn't want the turn. Right turn. Alright, plane. Activate the approach. That was interesting.
Oh, Jesus.
Easy. 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 Now roll us, right? There we go. Speaking of software updates, NVIDIA another driver today. Yeah. Always dial back the cabin altitude to surface level at descent. What do you need to do in a GA? It depends. Most of them are going to be kind of... Surface is usually good up to about kind of 14 or 15,000 feet, usually. Okay, 5,000 feet. We're on the 099 radial. We are... What's our distance here? Speed went right back. Bring it up there, Smidgen Murph. So we need to be at 1,700 feet when we get to the IED gadget, you know? Gibbo, good to see you. I reckon you should put on your dodgy American accent for your calls, you know, for the immersion. Yeah. November 235 Romeo Mike. We're at the Providence VOR, and we want the ILS 6 approach into Plymouth. And then after that, we want missed approach. Your ma. Brilliant. Fantastic. I dare you to use that voice. You mad? November 235 Romeo Mike, here's a number for you to call. Ah, Jesus! Brilliant. Right, we're in the soup. We can't see a friggin' thing. Now we're going to do a missed approach. And then we need to go into a hold. I need some Kenny... what's his name? Not Kenny. Hold me now. Who sang that, lads? You can't be doing that, lads, in an American accent. It isn't the same. Absolutely not. Renar, good to see you. Thank you for the follow. How long did it take you to learn to fly? Johnny Logan, that's the one. I'm still learning, mate. Aviation and even flight sim, it's just one of those things you never stop learning. Never. There's always something you're going to pick up. Every single time I fly in VATSIM, I learn something new. You know? Now, we'll probably be handed over to CTAF or to CTAF or whatchamacallit, Unicom. One 22725. That's the CTAF, if we need it. Right? He's not a pilot, he just plays one on TV. Right, coming up to top of drop. 25 years of simming, still learning. There you go. There you go, man. Right, so we're at 5,000 feet. We have a top of drop up here. Now, according to the chart, we need to be down at... Let's have a look at the approach. So we're going to come in this neck of the woods here. 3,000. Must be above 3,000. And then, as we ramble up to this neck of the woods, I think it's like 1,700 feet. This chart has suddenly become extremely important now. So we'll appear in this little map being here in a moment. Up here somewhere. I imagine we're tracking in this side. And then we can drop altitude down to 3,000. So it has top of drop. We're going to arm 3,000. Start dropping it down a little bit more. At or above 3,000. Yeah? Yeah, bottom of the chart will give us the altitudes. So 1,700 down at Ayad. So once we start appearing in here, I'm just skirting down to about 3,000 feet. Well, I imagine we'll come in this side here, right? We haven't appeared on the chart yet, but we'll ramble in this way here, pick up then the localizer, and then we proceed. We're going to go missed approach, so when we get down to about 640 feet, well, less, when we get down to about 400 feet, we're out of there. So let's start putting in our decision height. 640. That's not our decision height. We can go a little bit lower, but once I hear that ping, I'll dip down a little bit more, and then we're out of there. So radar altitude will help us out here as well. About 360. 1,000 feet to go. Descending nicely. Speed is good. Elliot, simming since 93, still very much learning. It's awesome, isn't it? It really doesn't matter what age you are. And if you're new to all of this, don't worry. Like, it takes time to learn these things. But the more you fly, the more you start picking up, the more you start learning. What we're doing tonight would be considered, you know, you would rarely see all of these happen on a VATSIM flight. You'd rarely see a missed approach and a hold and a change of destination. When I say rarely, it can happen, but usually if you're flying from point A to point B and you're following the procedures and you're very aware of what's happening around you, it should be fairly okay, yeah? 2964 was the barrow here, wasn't it? It was. Now, I imagine the controller will hand me over to either Unicom or to CTAF. He hasn't done it yet. Before we get established here, I'll give him a shout. Frequency for the runway, the ILS 10935. It's now picking it up. 10935. Course is going to be 056. We'll dial that in now in a moment. We're at 3,000 feet. Speed is looking good. GPS is telling us we're arriving at the Buvka waypoint. And let's see what happens. What was your first serious add-on to learn, Murph, to go in deep? The Zebo 737. That was the first proper aircraft I really delved into. In the real world, it's Cessna 172. So we're going to wait until we're established, and we can let approach know we're established, and I'm expecting us then to be handed over to CTAF or to Unicom. One or the other.
November 5, Romeo Mike. I see no traffic between you and the Plymouth airport. Reports IFR cancellation on the ground or a missed approach with Boston Center on 134.7. Change to advisory approved.
Roger, we will speak to Boston for a missed approach or after landing on 134.7, and we will over to CTAF. 5 Romeo Mike. Portland traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike. We're TBM at 3,000 feet, just about to get established onto the localizer for the ILS runway 6. We will be executing a missed approach, and we'll be going by the published approach. Plymouth traffic. Yeah, the good old days of X-Plane, yeah, 100%. Alright, let's have a look. Let's dial approach in. Final course 056. There's approach. Okay, captured. We're established. Watch your power. Even though we shouldn't, we kind of see the airport ahead of us. Alright, you can open the separator now. Open that separator. I thought I knew flying for more than 8 years, then I jumped into the 744 in FSX, had to start all over again. Yeah, man. Arrival waypoint. Approach is looking good. We're on the glide slope. We're making our way in. We're dealing with about 22 knots of wind across the nose. So far, so good. We're 8 miles. Plymouth traffic, November 235 Romeo Mike, 8 miles DME on the ILS runway 6 approach. We will be going missed approach onto the standard missed approach for Plymouth traffic. Now our next frequency, Boston 1347. Have him dialed up in my frequency. Also, I want the Boston VOR tied in. He's on 1227. Get him ready to go in me nav stuff. Altitude is dropping nicely, under 2,000 feet. Speed is coming down nicely. And looking at our instruments here, we're tracking that glide slope. We're looking fairly good. This will give me a ping at 640 feet above the ground, and then we climb out. Our instructions are, once we get to 640 feet, continue to climb to 2,000 feet, turning right to 100 degrees. Then we're going to intercept FREDO, and then we enter the hold. Inertial separator, correct, I turned it back on. Usually I'd go with the inertial separator kind of under 5,000 feet or so. It's most effective above or below that. Alright, speed is looking good. We're crabbing here like a diva. Look, that wind, man. Just to give you an idea, right? Like, there's the runway, dead straight. Look at her aircraft. She's coming in sideways, look. That's mad, Ted, mad. Okay, descent path is looking good. Drop a little bit more speed back. Keep the heading on the runway heading. GPS arrival waypoint, runway 6. And now we just watch our altitude drop. Can you ever fly a Blériot across the channel? We did that, well, we said we were going to do that before. Jerry Armstrong, thank you very, very much indeed. Some crack, isn't it? Jeez, whatever next, do you know? Okay, altitude looking good. Plymouth, November 235, Romeo Mike, 3 mile final, runway 06. We're on the ILS and we are going missed approach, Plymouth. Decision height. Heading mode. 2,000 feet. Arm it. Climb us. Plymouth traffic, November 235, Romeo Mike. Missed approach. 2,000. Climbing. Watch our torque. Start a right turn over to 100 degrees. Back to Boston.
Air Canada 189. Montreal Center is closed. Frequency change approved. Take care. JetBlue 2215. Climb and maintain flight level 300. JetBlue 2215. Clear direct Syracuse.
Direct Syracuse, JetBlue 2215.
JetBlue 2896, descend via Roebuck 3 arrival, runway 27, Boston altimeter 2966.
Roger, descend via Roebuck 3, runway 27, 2966. We have Lima on board as well for JetBlue 2896.
Thank you.
Boston Center, November 235, Romeo Mike. Missed approach on the Plymouth ILS 06.
November 235, Romeo Mike, Boston Center, good afternoon. Radar contact. Climb and maintain at 3,000 and say intentions.
Climb maintain 3,000. We'd like to enter the hold at FREDO and call you back for a new IFR clearance.
November 5, Romeo Mike, proceed as requested.
Cleared discretion for 5 Romeo Mike. Alright, here's the hold.
November 01 Charlie, Montreal Center is closed. Frequency change approved. Good flight.
Frequency change approved. Thanks for your help for 01 Charlie.
Transat 83 November, Montreal Center is offline. Frequency change approved. Have a good one. Transat 83 November, Montreal
Okay.
Center is offline. Frequency change approved. You have a good one.
So we're looking for the teardrop entry.
New England 18, cleared direct Aspen.
Direct Aspen, New England 18.
Oh, behave.
Ah, it's looking better. We'll do this teardrop entry. Captain Arash, good to see you, man. Welcome in. Alright.
It's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Horse is onto our little GPS there now as we turn, and we shall pick up nav mode onto our little entry point. Let's have a look. We're at 3,000 feet. Speed is good.
JetBlue 2896 and JetBlue 223, mutual traffic, 11 o'clock, 15 miles. Southwest bound A320, flight level 340. Northeast bound A320, flight level 330.
Before we do anything else, we need to keep an eye on
JetBlue
this.
2896 has
So we should be
traffic.
doing a right turn here now in a moment. I hope.
Dynasty 135, climb and maintain, flight level 300.
300 Dynasty 135, baby.
JetBlue 2215 for traffic, flight level 300 is going to be your final.
Make it 3000.
What's your speed? Not the cleanest, but we're
Delta
getting there.
1416, descend and maintain level 340.
Okay,
Descend maintain 340 for Delta 146.
so we want to head up to the next airport, and that's going to be
Good
Portland.
afternoon, Depot 617, falling short of Bravo and Alpha 1, we're ready to taxi with me.
So let's have a look at our charts over this one.
Delta 410 Alpha, Boston Center, Roger. JetBlue 617, Boston Center, runway 33 left, taxi via Alpha, Charlie, cross runway 4 left, hold short of runway 4 right.
Jesus, what's your speed here, Murph?
Alright, 50 left, taxi Alpha, Charlie, cross 4 left, and short of 4 right,
We're doing a very long leg. It should be alright though. This should turn us into where we want to go.
Closer
let's see
6023,
here
we're just approaching Quarry 1.
now. Portland.
Coast Guard 6026, Roger. The Boston wind 340 at 19er, gusts 28. And are you going to be coming out again after Mass General?
Let me see, IFR low.
Most likely not.
So I want the
Coast
Marconi
Guard 6026,
VOR,
Roger.
right?
Landing at Mass General, be at your own risk, and have a good afternoon.
So we want the Marconi VOR. That's going to be LFV, and you're on 114.7, 1147. Right? After that, we want the Victor 167. Victor 167. And if we ride on that puppy all the way up to the Sanford, it's the Kennebrook. Kennebrook ENE, so ENE. What's that? Kennybrook or Kenny Bunk? Kenny Bunk VOR, and you're 1171. Right, that's the route that we want. Let's see what they say. Right, we're in this hold. We're going to hold it for a moment, and
JetBlue 2896, JetBlue
we'll tell them what we're
2155,
doing.
visual traffic at 12 o'clock, 10 miles, southwestbound A321, level 340, northeastbound A320, level 330.
Now they might give us another routing, so we'll see what happens. And Boston Center, November 235 Romeo Mike, ready request.
November 5 Romeo Mike, correct?
Currently in the hold at FREDO, maintaining 3,000 feet. We would like to divert now up to the Portland airport and requesting a route out by the Marconi VOR via Victor 167, if that's possible.
November 3 Romeo Mike, I have your request. What altitude would you like?
8,000 is good for us. Am I allowed 8,000?
November 5 Romeo Mike, cleared to Portland Jetport via direct Marconi, Victor 167 to Kennebunk VOR, Echo, November Echo, direct, climb and maintain 8,000.
Roger, we are cleared to the Portland airport via the Marconi VOR, then Victor 167, direct to Kennebunk VOR, Echo November Echo. And we're going to climb and maintain 8,000 feet. So we'd just like to do one more pattern of this hold. So it's one more 180, and then we're ready to move for 5 Romeo Mike.
Number 5 Romeo Mike, read back correct, and you can start all of that after your additional lap in the hold as requested.
Very much appreciated. 5 Romeo Mike, thanks. Right.
JetBlue 617, cross runway 4 right at Charlie, hold short of runway 27.
Is it making sense to us now?
Cross 4 right at Charlie, short of 37.
So that's all grand, but I need to change all of this. So we're going to say,
Dynasty
radio.
135, climb
So it's now
and
going to be
maintain, level 400.
ENE,
4004, Dynasty 135.
KPWM.
Delta 1416, Washington Center is closed, frequency change approved. Have a good flight.
Kind of something like that, lads, right? So let's go back into this gadget here now. We'll do one more lap, then we're going to dial everything into our computer here, because I can't add any more waypoints,
frequency change approved. Have a good flight.
which is a pain, right? So how I'm going to execute
for
this,
Delta 1416.
going to do one more lap, all right? And as we get around one more lap, we're going to tune into the VOR station of Marconi, which we know
Delta
is
1439,
over here,
Boston
look.
Center. Push back at your discretion. Taxi up to spot 7 and advise ready for further.
And we're just going to head out from the hold. After our next lap, we'll just join that radial 271 and ramble across. Alright? Once we do that, we jump onto that airway, which is actually here, right? So we're actually following that airway, and then we're going to be heading into Portland. Alright? So we'll do one more lap on our hold. It was a little bit messy setting it up, but we got there in the end. My speed was slightly off, but it's liking it now. We're going to maintain this. Once we complete one more 360, or sorry, 180, right? We'll do a 180, we'll fly the heading, and then we're going to go direct to that VOR. As we're flying across to the Marconi VOR, I have enough time to start putting in the rest of the route into the flight computer, and then we can just go autopilot. But for the moment, I'm very much in control. We're in the hold. We're at 3,000 feet. Our speed is good. I've done a missed approach. I've entered the hold. They've asked us what we want. We want to divert to our next airport, which is Portland, and how we're going to get there. Now, our planning prior to us starting tonight, we were kind of looking at ideas of, hey, you know, what's going to be the easiest way to get us where it is we want to go.
JetBlue 223, Washington.
So on Sky Vector, well, we're going to add to this now because, well, our landing is now going to be at
change approved.
Portland.
Have a good one.
We're going to go LVR. We're going to go on the Victor 167, right? So LVR, direct, 167, direct, ENE. So that is our exact flight plan that we were hoping for that earlier on, right? And that's what ATC have said, yeah, no worries, you can do that exact thing. For me, I've less things to worry about. It's very straightforward. You're out over the sea. Do you know what I mean? Thomas, thank you very much indeed, man. Insane support. Thank you very much. Captain Arash, hope you're well, mate.
For takeoff 33 left.
So I am happy enough with that. We're just about to come around now and do our final leg of the hold.
Turn there, you'll see a Coast Guard helicopter low level about 2 miles southwest of the airport, landing at Hospital downtown. They'll be remaining to the southwest of your departure path.
So we're going to dial in 8,000.
Alright, thanks very much. We'll be on hold out 617.
Inertial separator's coming off. 850 mode engaged because we're going to accelerate fairly lively for this.
JetBlue 455, descend and maintain, full 340.
Continuous ignition, yeah. Like if you're out over the water, but like something like a TBM, if you do have an engine out, the glide ratio on this aircraft is quite good.
You want us to send you there, JetBlue 455? JetBlue 455, affirmative, Washington Center restriction, descend and maintain, level 340. 340,
Alright, let's see what happens here.
6023 visual MGH for Portland. Coast Guard 6026, Roger. There'll be an A320 departing off runway 33 left momentarily. They're going to be remaining northeast of VTO factor.
It's a rock with wings. I like it, man. I like it. Alright. So, we're going to go heading mode on this. Once we get onto that 164 radial, is it? Okay, so there's our heading. Now this is where the crack is going to happen. We're going to change this over to VLOC. We're going to put in the course of 27. Hang on, what was that radial? 86. Are we tuned to the right one? 109? No, we're not. 1147. There we go. There's a VOR. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. All right, and that guy gets perfectly straight. So let me see. We want... Not just yet, but we'll be doing it. The course for this guy is going to be what?
Coast Guard 6026, landing assured MHG.
271, which is going to be 0...
JetBlue 617, radar contact, climb and maintain 14,000, say altitude leading.
06, isn't it?
I'm attaining 14,000, 700, W600.
JetBlue
Call it
455,
060.
Washington
Let's have a look at
Center
this
is
then, right?
offline. Frequency change approved. Have a good one.
051. Either or, yeah. It looks like actually 051. That's outbound, okay. Set course 356, don't mind that. Right, we shall now enter heading mode. Okay, so we're on heading mode. We're going to continue to fly as this little divil gets closer.
JetBlue 2896,
flight
expect
plan.
ILS runway 27 approach. Information Lima is current.
Our origin is going to be FREDO.
Expect ILS 27, we have Lima 2896.
Our destination is going to be Portland.
Diamond 6 Delta,
As this needle
Quebec, New
gets
York
closer,
Center
we'll
is
make a
closed.
right turn.
Frequency change approved. Have a good one.
Did I do that right? FREDO, destination needs to be Portland. There we go. And we're going via
Diamond 6 Delta, Quebec,
Marconi.
New York Center is closed. Frequency change approved. Have a good one.
The airway is going to be the Victor 167 all the way up to ENE. Going to load that gadget in there. That looks good to me. Let's zoom out. That looks good to me. And let's start a right turn.
Etihad 1, Boston Center. Good afternoon.
And let's head out to this VOR.
Delta 1439, Delta 7, ready for taxi.
Delta 1439, runway tree left, taxi via Kilo, Bravo, Charlie,
All right.
cross runway 4 left, hold short of runway 4 right.
Yeah, we can start climbing now.
Full taxi to runway 33 left, Kilo, Bravo,
8,000.
Charlie, cross 4 right left, and hold short 4 right.
We already got our discretion to leave the hold, so we did one more full circuit. We're now climbing.
JetBlue 2155, the Washington Center is offline. Frequency change approved. Have a good one.
That's Evan online. What a ledge. 091. Thanks, Malky.
Boston Sun Country 465, we're correct.
Look at that for time and digital mark.
Sorry, who's that?
Jesus.
Sun Country 8455.
Power coming in. 850 mode is engaged.
We're correct.
We can
Sun
count it.
Country 8455, okay, Boston Center, I got you on climb and maintain level 230, and just say your altitude leaving, please. 230, we're at 10,000.
Okay, armor nav mode. We'll intercept all this now in a moment. Actually, no, we won't.
JetBlue 617, climb and maintain level 220.
I'm attaining level 220.
Easy now, Jemima. Keep heading that direction. I want to intercept that little magenta line just for handiness, do you know what I mean? Right. Captain Rash, are you going to Expo? Yeah. Oh, you are too. Aren't you doing a seminar, you mad divil, you? Brilliant. Great news, man, great news. Right, the Marconi VOR. Look at this weather, man. It's like proper. Yeah. Great for IFR, though, right? Fun fact, my wife just told me last week she thought the V-Pilot radio sound was me farting. Have a seminar scheduled. Nice one, man. Nice one. 1,000 feet to go. Breaking through the cloud layer. Beautiful. Bit of wind to fight with here. Oh, that's gorgeous, lads. Look at that. Jesus.
Boston Center, JetBlue 617. We'll be stepping away for about 30 seconds, if that's alright.
No problem.
Are the radar doing its thing? Surprised we haven't got ice yet. It is 0 degrees. Aircraft anti-ice is on. Message. We're okay. We're tracking direct to the Marconi VOR, so we're all as well in the realm right now. 8,000 is what we're going for.
November 5 Romeo Mike, Chatham altimeter 29er66.
29er66 for 5 Romeo Mike.
Definitely 617.
Thank you.
Easy now.
Sun Country 8455, climb and maintain, level 340, clear to direct BizX.
Is the audio okay, lads? It is. Alright, we're tracking in somewhat decently.
Delta 1439, cross runway 4 right at Charlie, hold short of runway 27.
It's grand.
Hold cross 4 right at Charlie and hold short 27, Delta 1439.
Okay, we're just going to drift closer to this little line, then I'll go into nav mode, autopilot, and then we're going to be laughing for a bit. We have to listen out though, because it's all about... ATC are going to keep us away from kind of friggin' everything now, yeah? So we listen into that. So I'm currently tuned into the 1447, right? I do have some other little helpful gadgets along the way. The next one is going to be the Kennebunk VOR. That's 1171. We can dial that guy in. 117.1. Keep that there in the background for us. We're going to nav mode now. We're going to change the GPS. And let's see what this ticket wants to do. So we want to go direct Marconi. There we go. Left turn coming in. Nav mode engaged. And let's see where we're at with our torque.
1439, cross runway 27 at Charlie.
Alright, airspeed is good, torque is good, prop, NG, ITT, they're all good. Altitude is 8,000, we're holding at 29er66, there's a deviation of a few feet, vertical speed will jump up and down for that. We've put in our 8,000 feet into the box, and next up then, we're going to be looking at the arrival plates into, whatchamacallit? Portland. So let's have a look at Portland here. So let's have a look at the runways in use. 29 or 36. So we're coming in from this side, right? So it's either going to be 29 or 36 depending on ATC. We'll figure that one out now in a bit because Portland 119050 COM2 119050. Is it 05? Yeah. 11905 11905.
Hello there.
I'm gonna drop that into COM2 here, and we're gonna try and monitor this guy. There we go.
Better Vin 010
Stop it! Thank you very much. It's hard to read at this range. Now I think he said 29 and 36, so it sounds like both runways are active. 36 or 29. Either or, it doesn't really matter. Now we might get vectored in here if we're lucky.
Delta 1439 ready to go 33 left.
Delta 1439 runway 33 left, clear for takeoff.
Now we can go the full hog. So we're going up to the Kennebunk VOR approach. Let's have a look. So it's 29er. So what we got here? 29er has an ILS. 34 has an, or 36 has an RNAV. Yeah. Much of a muchness, right? Let's have a look at the ILS. So this is coming in from the Kennebunk. Let me see here now. So we want to be coming over this way. So at, what's that difference? What's the distance there? What's the DME? Okay, so we have a missed approach at that VOR. Okay. And we have a hold here. So what's the missed approach if we're doing this? Let's see. Missed
JetBlue
approach.
617,
Climb 700,
clear
climbing
direct
left turn
Calverton.
3000, direct to the NEE.
Direct Calverton.
ENE via war and hold. Alright. So the missed approach is we're going to come in from this side here, look. We're going to ramble in from this way. All going well. And if things go terribly bad, well then we have to go this way and hold.
JetBlue 2896, flighting 360, descend and maintain 3000.
So I think as we're approaching
360, down to 3000, JetBlue 20.
the via war, we're going to ask
OB,
ATC to give us vectors and go in this way. So ILS 29, that's what we want. So it's 109.9. 1099. Let's track the next VOR station.
Delta 1439 airborne, passing 300.
Okay.
Delta 1439, radar contact, climb and maintain 14,000.
So that's kind of what our
14,000,
approach is going to look like. All going well, right?
Boston Center, good day, November 212 Alpha Whiskey,
That
radio
makes
check.
sense.
November 212 Alpha
Major
Whiskey, Boston Center.
Diarrhea.
How about that?
That's a great name. Welcome in, dude. Many thanks for
Okay,
joining
great.
the community.
Boston Center, November 212 Alpha
Welcome to Flight
Whiskey,
Crew. Cheers,
VFR to the northeast with information Mike.
So we need to
November
get
2 Alpha Whiskey, say aircraft
the
type,
ATIS.
and are you at the ground at Boston
But
right
if
now
it's
or
going to be
somewhere
29, that's what I want.
Yes, currently at the ground in Boston, and, sorry, can you repeat the last part again?
else? Aircraft type?
Type Cessna 172 Skyhawk.
All right, we're
And
going okay.
requested altitude?
3,500.
Let's see if we can get a better frequency now.
November 2 Alpha Whiskey, cleared out of the Boston Bravo airspace via fly runway heading. Maintain VFR at 3,000. Squawk 5524.
Okay, runway heading, VFR
Can't get him
altitude
yet.
3,000.
Wait till we get a little bit closer.
Remain outside of the Class Bravo airspace and squawk 5524 for 2 Alpha Whiskey.
November 2 Alpha Whiskey, readback is correct. Runway 33 left for departure. Information Mike is current. You can have any intersection you want along the runway.
look at
Let me know what you
that.
like when you're ready to taxi.
Jesus, look at that view.
Roger that. We'll plan for 33 left, 2 Alpha Whiskey.
That's
November
gorgeous.
5 for Romeo Mike, the Boston altimeter 2969er.
29er, 69er for 5 Romeo Mike.
Boston Center,
That was
Delta
gorgeous.
162 at Alpha 4 in Boston with Mike looking for push and start.
Delta 162 Boston Center, good afternoon.
Fair bit of
Pushback
weather
to your
here, look.
discretion. Taxi up to spot 7 and call there for
Bit of
Plymouth.
a break in about 10 miles.
Taxi at spot 7, then you'll hear from me again, Delta 162.
I don't know if anyone has experienced that in the real world. When you're flying in heavy cloud, did you ever find that having an impact on your VHF radios? Cloud, you know.
JetBlue 617, cross
Do you know?
Calverton at a maintain 2000 at 250 knots. The JFK altimeter 2974.
Cross Calverton at 12000, 250 knots, 2974, JetBlue 617.
Delta 1439, cleared direct
Busy
to
in Boston, isn't
Hannah. Climb and maintain level 360.
Level
Where's
360
the,
on direct to Hannah for Delta 1439.
So this is the current set of what's going on at the moment, right? Ah, Jesus. Look at the state of me flying, look. Ah, jeez. Right. Anyway, there's quite a bit of traffic around the shop, isn't there? Jeez, look at the state of that hold. It should be shot. Bloody hell. Portland Jetport, ATIS Charlie. Runway 29 and 36. So I think we're okay there at the
JetBlue
minute.
2215, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain level 240.
There's that rain we were flying through. Seems to have cleared. Isn't that gorgeous? It's gorgeous. Bloody hell, lads. The clouds, like, it's just beautiful. Right, so we have 29 or we have 36. Let's ask for the ILS 29er. And what was the chart course? The one that I did all me fancy drawn. 1099, which we have dialed in. 109.9. Final course 290. Decision altitude is going to be
JetBlue
256.
2896. Turn left heading 330.
Left 330, 2826.
The missed approach, climb to 700 feet, then left turn to 3000. Very similar to what we've already done. And then we enter the hold at ENE. So, if we make an absolute mess of this, well, we know what to do, don't we? So we'll request the ILS 29er. Moisture in the air can absorb radio waves, reducing signal strength. This absorption is more pronounced at higher frequencies, making VHF and UHF bands particularly susceptible. That's mad.
JetBlue 2896, 5 miles from Ripon. Turn left heading 300. Maintain 2000 until established on a localizer. Clear ILS runway 27 approach.
Well, left 300 and maintain 2000 until established. Cleared ILS 27 approach. JetBlue 2896.
No ice that I can see. -1.
Center, good day. United 1886 is with you, flight level 350.
With you.
United 1886, Boston
On the
Center,
boat,
roger.
atmospheric conditions affected VHF. Yeah.
Sun Country 8455, New York Center, offline. Frequency change approved. Have a good flight.
Murphy needs to use his own IFR checklist all the time. Checklists for checking the lists. Lots of them.
Sun Country 8455, New York is offline. Frequency change approved. Have a good flight.
So who we talk to next? We have Portland approach 119750. That's in the box. Boston Center is already in, and then we have the tower, and then we have ATIS. So information Charlie is what we have.
New England 18 cross trait at and maintain level 240.
0512.
Oh, it's a lot more clearer now.
3024, New England 1830.
16.25, visibility 10, ceiling 6000 overcast, temperature 11, 2.6, altitude 2968. Approaches to intersecting runways in use, landing and departing runway 29 and 36. Initial contact advised you to have information, Charlie.
So Charlie's still active over there. Alright. Sure isn't it only grand. Are you doing a tour around the USA? Ryan, would you believe it? This coming Friday, we're going to do Route 66, starting from Chicago and heading down to Los Angeles. Actually, Santa Monica. In one sitting, lads. We're doing the whole hog. Looking forward to it. Got some more interesting weather ahead. I've no traffic appearing on my scope here. Like 24 miles? 40 miles? No traffic. Weird, right?
Hello again, Southwest 179, Bravo 31 Alpha with Mike requesting push.
So Boston's dealing with a good few aircraft. Oh, wow, look, this guy's coming in from Munich, lads, look. Ah, Jesus,
Southwest
deadly.
179, Boston Center, push approved.
Push approved, thanks, Southwest 179.
Look at us, the little plane that
JetBlue
could.
2896, wind 330 at 17, gust 27, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land, 27,
That's awesome.
JetBlue 2896.
Right, what are you giving out about? Arrival waypoint SCUP. So far so good. Really fantastic. Boston ARCC does not get enough credit. They're absolutely, they're incredible. They're incredible. They're friendly, they're helpful, and like, never worry of getting something wrong or even failing one of these flights. If you fail it, they're going to tell you what went wrong. They're awesome. They really are. They really are. All right, so we got about 20 minutes before we're expected to land, and we're going to look for the ILS 29er into Portland. And just on that chart, let's have a look at some of our kind of constraints for altitude. So we're going to need to be down at 3,000 feet. I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to go directly to the VOR. We're going to have to turn before that. DME and radar required. Do we know that? At what DME do we make that turn?
November 212 Alpha Whiskey, ready for taxi.
November 2 Alpha Whiskey, runway 33 left, taxi via Bravo, Charlie, cross runway 4 left, hold short of runway 4 right.
All right, runway 33 left via Bravo, Charlie, cross 4 left, hold
Diversion,
short
we're going to
4
fly
right.
it. We're going to fly
Alpha
it.
Whiskey.
Starting at 5 o'clock, lads, so 1600 Zulu. 5 p.m. Irish UK time or 16
JetBlue
Zulu.
2215, the Cleveland Center is closed. Frequency change approved. Have a good one.
So far, so good. It's class when you can hear all the radar chatter and that, isn't it? Okay. So 3000 is where they're going to want us to be at as we follow the 117. Or sorry, yeah, 117.1.
JetBlue 617, New York approach is closed. Frequency change approved. Have a good one.
Right over to advisory, JetBlue 617. Thanks for service.
JetBlue 2896.
Hello there.
Airbus 320.
Hold short of
Welcome
runway 4
in.
left.
Thanks for the follow, dude. Hope you're well.
Cross 4 right at Echo, hold short 4 left, JetBlue 2896. Delta 16.
Mr. Chippy! 49 months.
62, runway 3.
Thank you very, very much indeed, Mr. Chippy. Hope you're well, mate.
Bravo, Charlie.
We're flying here
cross
with
runway
beautiful
4 left,
views
hold short of runway 4
of
right.
the clouds. Tis absolutely stunning now, lads. Tis absolutely gorgeous.
63 left via Kilo Bravo Charlie, cross 4 left, hold short 4 right, Delta 16.
We're in the absolute soup.
JetBlue 2896, cross runway 4 left at Echo, and then turn right on Bravo. Join Quebec to the ramp.
Roger, 4 left on Echo and join Bravo and Quebec to the ramp. We're also going to
we've had thunderstorms earlier, dogs not impressed, and we had them here as well, man.
Okay,
It was nuts.
JetBlue 2896.
Dougal says, I love that sim now. Pretty much all my flights other than your group flights are on that
right on
sim.
runway 4
It's
left.
so good, Dougal. It
And
is
then
so
just
good.
hold short of Quebec.
Executive Jet Flyer says, is
Alright,
this our
so
last bid on the
taxi,
FAA
right
IFR
onto
procedures?
4 left, and then we'll hold short
No, I
Quebec
think we've got
City.
one left. I think. Where's our ground school document?
Boston Center, American 774, with you, flight level
With you.
400.
American 774, Boston Center. Good afternoon, radar contact.
This is the last kind of practical one. Now, I will be doing more stuff, right? I mean, this is what we've done so far. We've done our introduction. That was our, well, it was our first flight, right? With using IFR. Then we did VOR navigation, Boston to Providence. Then we did Providence to Martha's Vineyard. Then we did Albany to Boston. And now we're doing, well, this flight tonight. We will go back over stuff, right? The whole idea of this course, I focus on the ATC phraseology. There's a lot of technical things thrown in on tonight's flight for sure, but the idea behind that is if you follow along this course using this ground school document, follow the wings flights, use the videos that are on YouTube now to help you along, right? You'll see exactly what I did.
New England 18, clear direct Calverton VOR, and cross Calverton at 12,000 and 250 knots.
You'll hear when I get things wrong and when ATC corrects me.
Can you say again?
JetBlue 2896, taxi via Quebec Alpha to the ramp.
Quebec Alpha to the ramp.
Like the next bit of stuff we're going to be doing on this,
New
lads,
England
is
18,
going to be
clear direct Calverton.
it's going to be preparing ourselves for the Oshkosh fly-in. Really looking forward to that. Hey, Newfoundland, good to see you.
Clear Canada 12000.
Just home from piloting a container ship into Corner Brook. Nice, dude. Yeah, it's a strange day. My first day doing this as a full-time
November
gig.
5 Romeo Mike, contact Portland approach 119.75. Have a good one.
Over to approach on 119.7 for 5 Romeo Mike. Thanks so much for your service.
November 5 Mike, 119.75, 1975.
119.75 for 5 Romeo Mike. Thanks a mil.
Yes.
Boston Center, good evening. Good
119.75, 119.75. You are Portland approach. Portland approach, November 235 Romeo Mike, 8,000.
November 235, Romeo Mike, Portland approach, good evening, information Charlie's current. The wind 33016, gust 25. They're advertising approaches for 36 and 29, just say your approach request.
Request 29 for 5 Romeo Mike.
November 5 Romeo Mike, Roger, you can expect the ILS 29.
We'll expect ILS for 29 or 5 Romeo Mike. Alright. ILS approach for 29. That is what we shall expect. So, where is me approach? There it is. ILS 29er. So where do we turn in from? ILS 29er. What's our transition? It'd be E&E, wouldn't it? Yeah. 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 Jesus, now, is that right? It's going to overfly us the airport. That doesn't look right. Is it? Do we... Hang on, am I reading this right? Do we overfly the airport heading down this way? That doesn't seem right, does it?
November 5 Romeo Mike, do you want to start the approach at Kennebunk, or would you like vectors for the ILS 29?
Vectors would be great for 5 Romeo Mike.
November 5 Romeo Mike, Roger, turn right heading 030 vectors ILS 29.
Right heading 030 vectors for the ILS 09, 5 Romeo Mike. Go on, Murphy, you big cheating cheater. Brilliant. What'd he say? 090, wasn't it? You've loaded the approach, you haven't activated it. Yeah, no, I know that. Oh, pause, was 030. I thought you said 09 or 0. Are we sure? He's messing. Approach just confirmed that heading 030, 5 Romeo Mike.
November 5 Romeo Mike, A, affirmative 030.
030, 5 Romeo Mike. Ah, Jesus! Imagine! 5 Romeo Mike, what exactly are you doing?
Pulling departure, Delta 523, we're going to be crossing 4,200 a year for, we're just crossing 4,200.
120.9, right? That's my next frequency.
Delta 523, Portland departure, radar contact, proceed direct Alex, climb maintain
and with
10,000.
that, Murphy's credibility went out the window.
Climb maintain 10,000 for Delta 523.
First full-time job and he loses his license, right? When ATC is watching the stream, right? They're probably saying, what's this idiot doing? 5 Romeo Mike. Dougal, have you been drinking? I bet Mrs. Murphy will be pissed at being home all this time. Oh, she works, so it's great. 10 years you're going to look back on today with fond memories and say to yourself, I'm glad that cantankerous black sheep gene finally stopped following me. Not at all.
Dougal, have you been drinking?
I have, Ted. Been drinking like a mad idiot. Oh, listen. I copped out. We went for vectors because I couldn't understand the chart. I imagine this is it here, right? Turn right or down to 081 degrees until we get to SAP. You big SAP. But like, at what DME do we turn? Am I missing something, lads? Yes, Murphy, you're a big idiot. But like, no, seriously, like, what am I missing? That's what I would have done. ATC like, Jesus, this suffering agent again, right? Am I right in saying that? That's the route from Kennebunk.
Gemini 117, 3,000 Romeo.
Yeah.
Gemini 117, Portland departure, radar contact, turn left heading 270, climb maintain 10,000 vectors for climb.
So we go straight in from the VOR and then turn back.
10,000. 10,000.
10,000. Gemini 117.
Imagine though being an idiot like me, you know. 109.9 decision height.
523 contact Boston Center 134.7.
34.7 for Boston Center Delta 522. Thank you.
Call it 250. All is well. If I put on an American accent, I would have gotten away with it. They wouldn't give out to their own, you know. This is 5 Romeo Mike. We got a little bit sidetracked with the weather, but it's looking better now. We've regained control of the aircraft, and we're about to follow the ILS 29er.
Gemini 117, turn left direct Marconi.
Get off the stage!
Center 134.7.
Direct Marconi over to center, good day. Gemini 117.
You sound way more relaxed since you became Mr. Teuton's personal contractor. How's the kitchen going? Jesus! AC Blue Line, good to see you, man. That would never work. Not at all. Our speed is good. Let's just go with it. Let's just go with it. We will be getting an L descend down to 3,000, I'd say.
November 5 Romeo Mike, turn right heading 050 to center maintain 3,000.
Right, 050 down to 3,000, 5 Romeo Mike. Jesus, then he made it sound sexy then, didn't he? Arm that, and down you divil. Ah, we're coming down. What was the altimeter? Hello. 05, that's right, Si. Charlie is still current. No 8 is available. Bummer. Right, watch your speed, Jim. Up it. Easy now, Jemima. I have to say, the weather, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I can see you do the American accent. Just have to ATC reply back with an Irish accent. This is 5 Romeo Mike. And then ATC is like, Jesus! Master caution, the nurse's separator, that's quite okay. Speed coming down. Hey, this has gone offline for me.
ILS runway 29 approach in use. Landing departing runway 29. Advise you have information, Charlie.
Oh, looks like they're using 29er. 2.5.
Jetport 8. Information, Charlie. Current 2051 Zulu. Wind 330 at 16. Gust 25. Visibility 10. Overcast 6,000. Temperature 11. 2.06. Altimeter 2968, ILS runway 29 approach in use. Landing departing runway 29. Advise you have information, Charlie.
Information, Charlie. Right, he's off there now in the L descent. Thursday's flight, it's 2:35 block time. I was going to take the max for a spin. That'll be grand, Dougal. It is a long L flight. I'll stream it though. Well, you know, a nighttime flight. Are we doing a nighttime? Sure. I don't know, nighttime flying, it can be boring for you guys watching, can't it? It's lovely flying it, but like, at least here we can be, you know what I mean? You can see a bit of stuff. At nighttime, it's like, you know. Yeah, it's lovely, Murph. Oh, beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Right, speed is good. The nurse's separator is there where we need it. ILS frequency is dialed in. Final course heading 290. We're down to 3,000 now. Ryan Woods, isn't that a stunning view, man? Look at that. That's stunning, isn't it? Either side. Look at the rain out there, look. Jesus, look at that. Are we passing the wings flight? I hope so, Marco. I hope to, you know, I really hope they don't turn around and say, Murphy, you should have done 2 full laps. And I'd be like, ooh, right? So I'll be guessing we're in 2020 for Thursday. I think so, Mark. Yeah. I want to take the max out for a spin. I haven't flown it in ages. There's excellent freeware scenery. Yeah, I need to check it out, Dougal. I saw it over on Discord. So what we do on Thursdays, I rarely got... It was all set up with the intention that I wanted to fly every Thursday on VATSIM. I didn't have the time. But that's all changed now. So every Thursday night, we're going to do a VATSIM flight. There's like 7 flights, I think, remaining in the European series. Then everyone's moving over to the US. So it's going to be grand. Because this is like the training we're going to start, you know. And I'm so out of touch when it comes to EU flying. I'm going to be in an absolute hoop. But it's grand. We'll figure it out. Wondering what would be the most iconic Route 66 airplane for Friday. ChatGPT suggested the DC6 or the DC3.
November 5 Romeo Mike, turn left heading 030, descend and maintain 2000.
030 left turn down to 2000, 5 Romeo Mike. On we go. Do a flight that ends just after twilight. Yeah, I might change the time of day, Gene. Good call. Yeah, it's a huge shame Naughty won't make it. How do you guys decide where you're flying on Thursday, VATSIM? Filthy, the lads just kind of plan it. It's been a full European series that they've done, starting at Dublin, and they worked their way friggin' everywhere. I think they've... Am I right in saying they've flown to every country in Europe? Or nearly. They're on the way doing that. It's been most impressive. Most impressive. Okay, 030 on the heading, 2,000 feet boxed in. Yeah, Naughty Gnome planned the whole thing. It's incredible. I'm looking forward to it though. I haven't, like, this is great because it's training and it's learning and it's teaching and it's all that jazz. I love all of this, but it's missing the connection, getting to fly with folks. I mean, that's really where my passion is. Our group flights, they're just, I love them. VATSIM is going to be awesome too because now we're flying on VATSIM with other folks. It's awesome. And he still had time to star in the latest Wallace and Gromit film. Why does your name on VATSIM radar have EIME in it? Others have other airports on the name. That's their home airport, Nighthawk. So on VATSIM, it'll ask you for your home airport. Casement would have been my home airport. Back in the day, you know. It should be fun. Got a visual on that runway over there, look.
November 5 Romeo Mike, 5 miles for P, turn left heading 310, maintain 2000 until established on localized and cleared ILS runway 29 approach.
Turn left and clear for the ILS 29 and we'll give you a shout when we're established on the localizer for November 225 Romeo Mike. Easy now. Okay, final course is 290. Bum 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 bum. Here she comes. Left turn coming in. AC Blue Line, just finished your VATSIM test. Good man yourself. Well done. The last one with XP72 was a blast. Dougal, these are some of the flights I want to jump on late at night. Flying with the likes of Ropenza and XP and just to jump on. You know. Looking forward to them, man. Okay, we are cleared for the ILS. We'll stick on approach mode. The one's 255 on the course. That's kind of strange. We'll keep it at 290. That's what the ILS has given us.
November 5 Romeo Mike, contact Portland Tower 120.9er. Yeah.
Over to 120.9er for 5 Romeo Mike. Thanks so much. Portland Tower, November 235 Romeo Mike is 6 miles. Established on the ILS runway 29er, full stop.
Number 235 Romeo Mike, Portland Tower, hello again. Wind 330 at 16, gust 25, runway 29, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 29er for 5 Romeo Mike. Alright. Alright, watch at the speed. We're on the glide slope. Slow her right down. Yaw dampener coming off. We'll drop a notch of flaps. Gear coming into it. Decision height is shouting at us, but all is well. Oh no, that's our speed shouting at us, never mind. Murph, always ping me if you want to do flying. That'd be deadly, yeah. Playing around with my iPad to use with Flight Sim 24. Really wish there was an EFB real time I could use. There's options, sorta. Okay, gear is down 3 greens, 1 notch of flaps. We're on the glide slope. Decision height being 250. Man, look at that skyline. Jesus. Look at the clouds. This is only gorgeous. Look at the sideways action coming in here, look. Jesus. Ryan, we shall do our very best. Speed is good, height is good. 19 knots coming at us. Watch the speed. Alright, let's go full flaps. Let's see what happens. Nice descent pads. .3 miles out. 85 knots. Fairly decent. There's a runway. Something that Asobo had promised with the default EFB. Well, technically you can. I mean, you can get the flight planner onto it. But yeah. Yeah, you can set it up as a dual screen, 100%. Alright, autopilot off my airplane. Let's hand fly this one in. We're going to look to get off at Golf if we can. Oh, hang on. Where do we need to get off? Never mind. The FBO is down on my right-hand side, so let's keep an eye out there. $500. Easy Murphy, a big Egypt. Bald Eagle, the sim update is automatic, yeah. You'll probably get like an update in the store app, but it should be automatic. Charlie is where we want to jump off if we can. Man, look at this wind. Easy. Easy. Alright, speed is good, gears down, flaps are set, decision height. We're stable, continue landing. There's a touchdown zone, man, look at that weather sock giving it socks. Jeez, it's the wind. Okay, we won't get Charlie. Easy now. Watch the flare. Power to idle. Easy, Murph. Easy.
Nighty snoozy snooze.
The timing. Watch the wind. We're gone sideways. Get her down. And we're down. Into beta. Nothing like a bit of a stutter. That's okay. We miss Charlie. We go Alpha 4 if we can. Flaps in. Bit of power. Roll us forward. It says Delta. Is this an actual exit? It is. It is now, says you. It's not actually on the charts. That's weird. Alright, we'll jump off this way. Ooh, we got some aircraft here.
Number 5, Romeo Mike, next right onto Alpha, ground point 9. Thanks for flying, good night.
Next right onto Alpha and over the ground for 5 Romeo Mike. Thanks so much. That's weird. What's ground? 121 Niner. Portland ground, November 235 Romeo Mike, vacated onto Alpha, looking for parking down at the FBO.
November 235 Romeo Mike, Portland ground low. Welcome to Portland. Taxi parking via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha Charlie down to the FBO for 5 Romeo Mike. Thanks.
What's up, Murphy?
What'd they say? What'd they say? Okay, Alpha and Charlie. He said good job. Sorry, what was that last for 5 Romeo Mike?
Oh, I was just saying what's up.
Oh, thanks very much. Cheers. No one died. You know, it was grand. Old veteran, yeah. He said you did well for a guy with such small hands. Jesus, Muse, yeah. Right, great bunch of lads now. Squawk, stick around to standby, sure. Potato, lazy, good to see you. Potato's lazy, good to see you. Right, down to the FBO we go. And then we'll review the flight, friends. We shall review the flight. Now, I don't know, did I pass that? Just popping in, I was your tower at both airports. Dude, thank you very much indeed. Awesome stuff. Jeez, the coverage, lads, has been amazing tonight. I don't know, did I pass the devil, but sure, listen, it'd be grand. You did well for a guy with such small hands. Did you ever hear so much ridicule? You know?
November 235 Romeo Mike, got some passengers in IFR 11.
Get in there. Thank you very much indeed, and thank you so much for all the ATC tonight for 5 Romeo Mike. Sweet!
Have a nice
Big 10-4, good buddy.
See ya. Colonel Fork, if you get tier 1 sub to potatoes, lazy. Ah, brilliant. Now, is it potato? It is potato. I thought it could have been patio. I'm Irish. I just saw potato. Colonel Fork, thank you very much indeed. Ah, jeez, that was awesome. Hang right here now. Hey. Is it now?
Portland ground, Delta 10 with information Charlie. Request IFR clearance to Halifax.
And Lewis.
Delta 10, Portland ground low, clear to the
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
departure back to Alex and as filed. Maintain
Alex,
3000 departure between 119.75, clock 1447.
Looking good here. Looking good
Sorry,
there.
Portland ground. Can I get a repeat on that? Apologies.
Radio off. Low idle. Peter coming off. Inertial separator coming off. Boosters off. Leads off. Engine off. All right. That was awesome, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed. Captain Chris Dalla, ground controller, thank you very, very much. That's awesome, lads. Welcome in, and thank you so very much indeed for that coverage tonight. I think Evan was looking after Boston Center. Absolutely incredible, incredible ATC coverage to get. Like, jeez, it's incredible. Right, that's off. Yes, they're all off. Let me see here now. Did I turn them off? I did. Can't remember if they on or off. Nav lights off. That's looking good to me. The back door here now, Merv. Unlock it. Open a little door here as well. Ground stuff. Go ahead and put the chocks and the Peter covers in. Engine cover locker up there as well. Brilliant, lads. Absolutely fantastic. That was a hell of a flight. So we're going to go back now and have a quick review of that flight. Because there was a lot we did in that, right? There was an awful lot we've done. So let us have a look, and we can bring up, what can we bring up? We can bring up Volanta. So let's review our flight. So we started off all the way back at New Bedford. We got a departure blasting off from runway 23, and then it was a left turn. We were handed over to ATC on the approach controller. He gave us a direct to Martha's Vineyard. We then followed from Martha's Vineyard on the, what was it, the Victor 374 airway down to Mink. It was then a right turn up to the Providence VOR. We were asked to state our intentions. We wanted the ILS 06 into Plymouth, right? At Plymouth, we went missed approach. We followed the published missed approach at FREDO, and there were right-hand turns of 1 minute each. From there, we had to file a new IFR flight plan in which we requested the Marconi VOR up to Victor 167, and that was heading up to the ENE VOR at Kennebug. And then I copped out of it because I requested radar vectors. Terribly nice. So we were then vectored into the ILS for runway 29er at Portland. We arrived and landed on 29er, taxied away. Yeah, the charts are weird, look. So the charts are actually Alpha 4, yet in the sim scenery is wrong. Like that's a Delta. That doesn't exist. But anyway, and then we parked over at the FBO. So our landing rate was a feet per minute. Would you get out of that? There was no way that was 1 feet per minute, was it? Listen, I'm not going to argue with it, lads. I'm just saying, you know, very fancy. Great to see all the ATC. It really was, dude. It was awesome. The only issue I saw, you didn't kick out the crab before touchdown. I did, but we got a gust. It was gusting 2.5, I think. Do you know? Yeah, to fly and stream is nuts. Thank you very much, Dougal. Some messing, wasn't it? Some messing indeed. Yeah, like in terms of, definitely when it comes to the hold, it, like, you need to know your aircraft systems, because even like I know the TBM, and even at that, I mean, look at the cut of that for a teardrop entry. Like, the reality is this, right? On VATSIM, they're not really going to get too excited. They're not going to get too excited in relation to holding. And what I mean by that is, provided you stay on the correct side of the hold. So see the way this hold is a right turn and the radial is 162. Once you stay over this neck of the woods, it doesn't have to be exactly on that circuit. It really doesn't. That's him. They don't really mind, provided you stay over here. Don't go over on the left hand side of it, unless of course it was, you know, there were left turns. You know what I mean? Newfoundland, that's the TBM 850. So, no, not the default TBM. So, it's a 2020 aircraft. You need to take the 2020 TBM, pop it then into your community folder, and then you can pop the TBM 850 in. So, lads, don't sweat it if you're not following the hold exactly. Like, it's not really a big thing. Dougal says holds on charts rarely to scale. Yeah, unless you were told exactly, it's... Don't worry about, if it's not perfect, don't worry, but try and get the turns correct, as in the correct shape. Don't worry if you drifted off a few, you know, a mile or whatever, but like, once you stay on the correct side of where the hold is, you're safe. All right. And that was all a mix of using multiple modes of navigation. We were using VOR and we were using GPS as well. And I was allowed, you know, I was swapping between both. And when you're doing airliner stuff, that rarely needs to happen. You rarely need to swap between both. When you're in the airliners, the FMS is smart enough. It'll do everything for you, right? But this sort of flight, I missed the start. Can you go back and do it again? Right, we're doing it again. Brilliant. When we took off out of New Bedford, we headed down to the Vineyard VOR on the airways, right? The Victor Airways, Providence VOR, and then, you know, the Marconi VOR, and then up to the Kennebunk VOR. There was a ton of VOR work in that. And that's all about just get the right frequency, pop it into your nav, and then you can follow it from there, you know? The Limbics, I'd say so, yeah. I reckon you could download it. Although, I don't think... The 2020 TBM is not available in flights in 2024, so I don't believe so. Or maybe it is. Yeah, I think it is, actually. They're never to scale. They change by aircraft and speed. They're designed to procedurally separate aircraft. We had holds on arrivals that were procedurally separated from each other. Sometimes get a bit dicey when pilots didn't do it correctly. So they're never to scale. So old veteran Scott, who's a VATSIM controller in the US, He's just confirming what we're saying. Like, they're not to scale, right? It depends on the aircraft and the speed. So, Stu, thank you very much indeed. Have a great night, mate. Yeah, it's that's class though. And like that flight, you know, you could be sitting there going, you know, geez, there was a lot in that. That is probably one of the most difficult flights on the wings course, right? Where is it here now? So if we go back into the wings course, and lads, I highly recommend you do this stuff. It's so much fun. You have amazing controllers. You can just do the VFR stuff, or you can do the IFR stuff. You can do bits and pieces when you want, or you can do it all the way through from start to finish. I've intentionally left a lot of gaps in this because I want to, well, stream this during the day, some of the days, you know? So, as we said here, down the bottom, it says, assuming you make it to Portland in one piece, perform a normal landing, find your way to the ramp, and consider yourself a successful graduate of the Wings IFR 11. Congratulations are in order. This is one of the most difficult flights in the entire program. So, like, if you can do that, you're absolutely laughing. Some of the other ones that we can do, there's your obstacle departure procedure and your circling approaches, right? Later on, to do non-precision approaches, missed approach, and hold entry. So, like, here's a full lesson just on that. And we already got a taste of it, yeah? But here's an entire course, and they provide you with all the knowledge. They give you all the information here, look. And a lot of the times they'll point you to, you know, additional sources where you can get even more information. It's class. It really is. It's just deadly. Where else do we have then? We have Into the Mountains, IFR 20, Airspace and Arrival, Circuit to Land, and then charted visual flight procedures. Like, it's awesome. The whole Wings program. And it's free, lads. This is all for free. They've done an incredible job here. Our own ATC ground school document, that's to support you not only on the Wings course, but with all your ATC flying, right? It starts off with VFR, then it goes IFR, and that's aimed at Europe, specifically Ireland. And then we get on to our FAA conversion, whereby we take what we've learned in the first two series, and then we just gel that then into the latest one. What's next is going to be preparing ourselves for phase 3. Phase 3, there's a bit of crack with this. So if we go to, where is it now? So phase 3, I'm down here now, Murph. Stay going. It's all about Oshkosh, yeah? Right. Phase 3 is going to be preparing for the EAA virtual fly-in into Oshkosh. And that's going to be friggin' nuts, because that won't be just starting at an airport very close by. I want us to do a bit of a cross-country on VATSIM, flying both IFR, VFR, until we start heading up towards Oshkosh. Then we'll do the Oshkosh FISC arrival, right? And that's the next phase that we're doing with our FAA stuff. And then the next ATC course I'll be doing, but it won't be for a little while because I need to prep it and, you know, learn it and stuff. It'll be in a couple of months, but that's going to be your oceanic clearances. That's designed specifically for those wanting to do cross the pond, where you'll get in position reports, parallel reports, all your oceanic clearances and oceanic operations. It's basically if you want to fly across the pond. Doesn't just apply to across the pond, it does other flights as well, but it's focusing a lot on your ETOPS, you know? So that's the next course we'll do, but the final phase of this entire FAA conversion course is going to be doing an event which will be the virtual fly-in into Oshkosh. Super excited for that. So we'll start that probably in a couple of weeks. Also then we're going to be starting a new Monday night series that'll be starting soon, and more kind of adventure driven, you know. I've 98 ocean crossings. Whoa, craziest of them is always going to London. Land in Newfoundland. We'll have to, 100%. But yeah, there'll be a new Monday night series starting soon. A new adventure that we'll all get to ramble and learn about and have the crack. But lads, if you can, into the chat, pints of Guinness and Modes for all the controllers from the Boston Virtual ARTCC. Absolutely incredible. It's incredible. And I highly recommend give them a shot. Get yourself registered. Start their Wings program. Take it one step at a time. And if you're ever stuck with anything, they can help you, but also we'll help you as well. Jump onto our Discord. And any of the flights we've done VFR 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I left the heli route because we'll do that in a heli later on. You can do it in a fixed wing as well. We've done IFR 1, 2, 3, and 4. No, we did 1, 2, 3, 5, and 11. So there's like 19 other flights left to be done, and I'll do those at different times during the week. I'll say, right, okay, today I'm going to do this. You know, we're going to spend today's stream learning non-precision approaches, and all the videos, they'll be all tailored back into the course playlists, so you have them there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, absolute incredible stuff from all the guys and gals over on the Boston Virtual ARTCC. It's incredible, and it's, do you know what? It's handy because all the practical flying, they've already built it. There was no point reinventing the wheel for this. You know what I mean? I will say this: we had an awful lot of fun on the VFR and IFR courses. We had Gibbo and Rambog and Adam and Josh and all the lads helping us out with our ATC. This course is different. It's already structured. All the learning material is there, and it's very, very well put together, and it's all for free. It's nuts. It's all for free, do you know? So that's the story now. Right, lads, thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. I'll be back live tomorrow. We have trucking tomorrow night, but I'll be on during the day tomorrow. I'm going to check out that 777, see what sort of trouble we can get ourselves in with that. And yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. So Colonel Fork gifted another sub. Colonel Fork, you absolute devil, you pressing buttons. Jesus. Colonel Fork, thank you very, very much indeed. My dude, what a ledge. The man is just a ledge. Close that box up here now, look. Yes, there we go. Right, so I'll see you tomorrow at some stage. Don't know what time yet. It'll be on morning time. We'll do a bit of flying. Then we'll take a break, and then we'll be back for a bit of trucking tomorrow night. And we'll see how we go from there. So, thank you all so very much indeed, lads, for all the support. My first day is a full-timer, right? Ah, Jesus. The crack is 90. Right, until then, have a lovely evening. Gloat in the brilliance of a 1 feet per minute landing, which is clearly broken, but I don't care. We'll take it. We'll see you tomorrow. Good luck to you.
Cheers. Oh, okay.
Oh, balls. Thomas, you big scuttling Egypt. Oh, Jesus, there he is. I don't know. Oh, I take it all back. Did you just see me scream? Oh, no. That wasn't nice at all. No. You didn't use your indicators. Electricity must be expensive in your truck, is it? Christ. Oh, no, a terrible accident. Jesus. Did you oh, I nearly passed out of the laughter. Did you just see what happened? Jesus.